The following is a presentation of Saginaw Spirit Hockey. The Spirit are set to take the ice. But first, get all the game day information you need. It's time for Countdown to Face-Off on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey, WSGW.
It's another great night for Saginaw Spirit Hockey, and the countdown has begun as the Spirit prepare to face off against the league-leading Brantford Bulldogs for the second and final time this season. Good evening, everybody. Jonathan Dent here in the Stormmaster Exteriors studios. Dylan Clark is waiting for us in the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth. We'll get to him soon as the Spirit continue this weekend road trip after a thriller of a shootout win in Niagara last night. An uneventful first period gave way to plenty of excitement in the second. The Ice Dogs scored early on the power play. They followed it up with goals 4-on-4 and one shorthanded to take a 3-0 lead into the third. Niagara extended that lead to 4 just a few minutes into the final frame with a goal from Riley Patterson, and the game looked to be all but over. But this is why we say you never turn off your radio. 8 minutes, 40 seconds in the third period during some 4-on-4. James Go led the way into the offensive end, dropped for Ryan Hanrahan on the left side, and his shot buzzed over the shoulder of the Niagara netminder to put the Spirit on the board.
And on the left wing with a lot of speed, James Go drops it off. Hanrahan shoots and he put it off the goalpost. No, he scores! Ryan Hanrahan, an absolute missile over the glove of Charlie Robertson.
Stepan Shurigan kept the door closed during an extended penalty kill after that, and with time ticking down on it, Nikita Klepov rocketed through 2 Ice Dogs defenders shorthanded to chase down a puck and shovel it home to cut that lead to 2.
To the right point, 18 on the Niagara power play, and it's going to escape past them, and it's going to be a shorthanded chance. Klepov alone against the goaltender, shoots and scores! It's a shorthanded goal, Nikita Klepov. 11 seconds left on the Glavin penalty, and it's a 4-2 game.
Saginaw kept the push going, pulling Shurigan for the extra attacker, and it paid off with just under 2 minutes left when Klepov passed to Carson Harmer at the post. His shot was stopped, but Jacob Kluche was on the other side to score and make it a 1-goal game, and 48 seconds later, Harmer cashed in from the same post when Dima Zhilkin found a pass through traffic for the redirect to tie it up.
A point, walks out with it, up high, Barabana, over Zhilkin, one-timer, fought off in front. It hit Chromiak, and he's hurt. Zhilkin sweeps it in front. They score! Carson Harmer on the goal line. The Spirit come all the way back to tie the game at 4.
The fast-paced action of the third period slowed down to a more cautious overtime, and for the second time in the season, the Spirit and Ice Dogs went to the shootout. The goaltenders were strong through the first 2 rounds, and a bobbled puck gave Dima Zhilkin a chance to win it. He moved in slow and wide to the right side, faked the shot across, then reeled it into the forehand and in to score the much-needed win for the Spirit.
Dima Zhilkin, 33 goals on the season. He's got an assist on the game-tying goal tonight. Can he win it for Saginaw in the shootout? Very slowly. Zhilkin against Robertson. Deeks and scores! The Spirit come all the way back and a shootout winner courtesy of Dima Zhilkin. 5-4 Spirit.
Tonight, the Spirit go from one doghouse to another, visiting the big bad Brantford Bulldogs to close out this 2-game series. These teams last met November 2nd when 2-goal nights from Lane Gallagher and Caleb Malhotra propelled Brantford to a 6-2 win at the Dow. Since then, the Bulldogs have been dominant, especially at home, where they have only 1 regulation loss in 30 games. They're currently the top dogs in the OHL, passing the Kitchener Rangers with a win on the road last night. Saginaw still hunting down a playoff berth and ideally a couple spots up from the 8th seed. But if yesterday's game shows anything, it's that this team is capable of digging in and winning when it really counts, and it certainly counts tonight. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll hear from Spirit head coach Chris Lazary about last night's nail-biter and this evening's matchup in Coach's Corner as Saginaw Spirit Countdown to Face-Off continues on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Garber is your local Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram dealer. Family owned, locally trusted. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at your local Jeep and Ram dealer. Garber, Bay Road, Saginaw. Online 24/7 at GarberCDJR.com.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about: questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Scott Seaman to create your personal price plan today.
Now, get inside analysis directly from the Spirit coaching staff. This is Coach's Corner.
Coach's Corner as the Spirit continue the road trip in Brantford on this Friday night, joined by Spirit head coach Chris Isery. And Coach, let's go back to maybe second intermission of last night's game, what ended up being a comeback victory. What changed for you guys down 4-0 and come all the way back, tie things, and pick up the win?
Well, I wish I knew, because there was nothing that was said in the room, that's for sure. What was said in the room will stay in the room, but it wasn't very kind. That's more just our players finding a way, like amongst themselves, not to quit, to make sure that they came back and tried to win a game. So it was nothing from a coaching standpoint. Like, I think Hanny gets us going, which is the big time shot. A nice play by James. I mean, obviously the one hops over the guy's sticks. We get a break there on our kill, and we have 2 goalie out goals. But super happy that the guys come back 4-0 to win a game. But more frustrating at 61 games in the year, the type of goals we gave up, like the play by Kluch, and like those little things where we're trying to make sure we're becoming a playoff version, that we can't make those type of mistakes at that time of the year. So we're trying to get to that point. So I was more frustrated with that, but I was, again, like I know we have character kids and good kids that care. Like, for them to come back 4-0 with 12 minutes to go, I don't care what team it is in the league, Brantford down, like, it's hard to do, and we were able to do it.
That goal by Ryan Hanrahan. First, and a little bit for him, though we've talked about the amount of chances and the quality chances that he's had. What did you see on that goal from him, and how good was it to see him finally get rewarded for some of the work?
Well, he finally shot a puck. Like, I was giving it to him on the bench in the second, where he pops up high, looking for a pass from Belly instead of going down to the net, saying, like, if you want to score, Handy, like, stop playing on the outside. Like, get inside. You're a big boy. Get to the net. Use your frame. Like, you have to have what we call like an interior game to play at the next level or score goals at this level, like, work on that. But the one thing I did like is, like, we were yelling at our guys, we got to attack the net more. I didn't think we did a good job attacking the net, whether it was rush or O-zone. He comes down off the flank, gets that puck, attacks the net. Instead of turning up, skating around the back of the net, which we've seen, buries a shot. So he's got to be more, but it's good. Like, we think once he got one, there are a few more would follow. So we're hoping now that that opens the floodgates a little bit for him, and he figures out, like, oh, if I shoot more, I might score more. So hopefully he attacks the net a little bit more. Elite talent, figuring it out. It was a big time goal to get us going.
A little bit hard to put yourself in the head of a younger player like that, but when they have that tendency to stay along the walls, like you said, is that them looking for something better to open up, or is it a fear of going to the middle? What keeps them along the flanks like that?
Well, if you study like an NHL player early in his career that comes out of junior or college or Europe as an elite point producing player, every one of them gets to the NHL, plays dots to the wall. They think that's how they're going to score at the next level, and it's not true. Like, they can play out there a little bit, but they learn to play inside more. They learn to get lost in coverage more and get their shots off really quick. So, like, Caulfield's a great example. He'll tack off a rush and rip a lot of pucks, but he also finds ways off puck to get lost in the weeds. And when it comes to him, before the goalie even knows he has it, he's already got it going to the net. So for like a guy like Hanny, if you look at Barbs, I'm on Barbs a lot for, like, you always, if we're climbing away from the net with the puck to kickstart high motion, if you watch him, he skates from the inside of the ice and he goes to the outside. He leaves the interior. We want him to stay on the interior. As much as he has points, he's probably left a lot on the table where he could fix that. And every guy in junior that's highly skilled, like, they all want to play on the outside and be the half-wall skilled guy. You got to have an interior game from a 100-point guy down. But that's part of the process of developing players at this level, getting them to understand that's where all the milk is. Like, that's where you need to play. And it's a constant battle with those guys.
11 guys on this roster on the Brantford side of things tonight, NHL drafted. You've had your group on that side of things a couple of years ago. You know what you're up against. How do you prime a young group for a game like this, knowing that this is such a difficult building to play in?
Well, nothing free. So when you hit the line, if you don't have numbers or something going on, don't give them a free puck to turn that into transition against. Don't, make those mistakes that are low risk plays. Like if we make it, what's coming of it? Like you gotta make sure you're taking care of the puck, but also like playing on your toes. So where's the balance? And that's where we're trying to get to. But a lot of it to me comes down to zone exits. The first goal last night, we have 4 chances. We looked at it in video today. 4 chances to get an exit, and we don't. We end up taking a penalty, they score. And they got to learn, like if we don't get out on our first breakout attempt, or we've been in the zone for longer than we feel comfortable, the only name of the game there is finding a way to reset the puck. Get it out, get us back in a structure, let us reset. We did a terrible job overall with that last night. A team like Brantford, we talked about it today, if we don't get our exits when they're there, they're the type of team that can hurt you. If we do, and we make them defend and track, if you watch them play, they don't want to do that stuff. So we've got to find ways to put them in that spot as much as possible.
Coach, appreciate the time. Good luck tonight. That's Chris Lasry, Saginaw in Brantford against the Bulldogs. Back after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From making athletic footwear stronger and lighter to powering the future of electric racing vehicles, material science and R&D are the MVPs of innovation. At Dow, we collaborate with customers and partners to tackle a wide range of sports product challenges with cutting-edge advancements in technology. Dow's innovations can help to improve performance and sustainability throughout the world of sports. Dow, at the intersection of sports and science.
Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh & Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh & Associates. Retirement made clear.
Get it all at Garber Chevrolet Saginaw. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall experience. Our expert technicians are factory trained to the highest standards, keeping your vehicle in top condition. And we have everything for your automotive needs, even tires. Get to Garber Chevy Saginaw today and see how you get it all at Garber. Gratiot Road, Saginaw. Online, GarberChevroletSaginaw.com. Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carleton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
The first leg of this road trip for the Saginaw Spirit began last night in Niagara and was not short of excitement. Down 4-0, the Spirit come all the way back, force overtime, and win in a shootout on a goal from their captain. But tonight, as they're here at TD Civic Center to face the Brantford Bulldogs, a team who has lost on home ice in regulation one time this season, you can be sure there is no margin for error. There is no time to mess around as Saginaw looks to secure its 24th victory of the season. Hi, everybody. My name's Dylan Clark. Thanks so much for being with us for another one here in Brantford. Saginaw, they look for a bit of redemption against the Brantford Bulldogs, a hockey club who's had their number 6-2. The Bulldogs took the only other meeting between these two hockey clubs back on November the 2nd. And boy, oh boy, did they look like a team that had 10-plus NHL drafted players in their lineup all the way back on November the 2nd. Now, they've got some key players out. No Jet Luchenko, first rounder to the Philadelphia Flyers. They will be without Parker Holmes, a fourth rounder to the Chicago Blackhawks. And their Buffalo Sabres drafted goaltender Ryerson Leanders is the backup tonight. But there is no shortage of depth and talent in this hockey game. On both sides, the OHL's leading goal scorer, assist getter, and point getter are all different people, and they're all in this hockey game tonight. We'll take a look at our starting lineups for this game. Brought to you by WNEM TV5. The Brantford Bulldogs, 93 points. Nobody in the OHL has it better. They'll go up front. Merrick Van Acker, first-round pick of the Chicago Blackhawks, 42 goals in the season. Nobody in the OHL has more. At center, Jake O'Brien, first-round pick to the Seattle Kraken, Nobody has more than his 55 assists. Adam Banaka, 4th rounder to the Minnesota Wild. 3 points the other night against the Barrie Colts. Those three start out up front. It'll be Owen Krantz, a Montreal Canadiens 4th rounder, and Adam Yurachek, 1st rounder to the St. Louis Blues on the blue line. And across the way for Saginaw, no lineup changes whatsoever, but a different starting group here against these Brantford Bulldogs. Brody Popoy, Carson Harmer, and Jacob Klute, all of those players had massive hands and timed the game up late for Saginaw in Niagara the other night. And it'll be Josh Glavin and Blake Barnes. There's only one Blake Barnes in this particular hockey game, and he starts out on the blue line for Chris Lazary and the Saginaw Spirit. Your starting lineups brought to you by Saginaw Valley State University. We send you back to Jonathan for a look at your out-of-town scores before puck drop here tonight.
Thanks, Dylan. Out-of-town scores this evening brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings. We'll start with one that may be a little bit more impactful for the Spirit. The two teams that Saginaw is trying to chase down in the Western Conference standings face off tonight, the Owen Sound Attack and the Guelph Storm. Owen Sound currently sitting just 1 point ahead of the Spirit, while the Guelph Storm sit 4 points ahead of Saginaw in 7th and 6th places, respectively. We'll keep an eye on that one, but no matter the outcome of that game, the hill gets a little bit steeper for the Spirit moving towards the postseason. The Sioux Greyhounds visit the Kitchener Rangers. The London Knights host the Erie Otters. Bit of a rivalry matchup there. In Eastern Conference action, the Peterborough Petes visit the Niagara Ice Dogs. The Kingston Frontenacs host the Brampton Steelheads. Back in the West, the Flint Firebirds visiting the Sarnia Sting. And back to the East, the Oshawa Generals visiting the Sudbury Wolves. Plenty to talk about in out-of-town scores this evening in the OHL. In NHL action, the Florida Panthers are visiting the Detroit Red Wings. We'll keep you up to date on all of those contests as we move through the evening. But puck drop between the Saginaw Spirit and Brantford Bulldogs coming up on the other side of this break here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Find space at Frankenmuth Spring Hill Suites, where you can savor your time away with the little extras that are included. Each studio suite features extra room to spread out when on the road with your family or your team. Airy beds are piled high with pillows for that little bit of extra comfort. And an innovative 3-in-1 trundle sofa provides even more sleeping options. Book your next stay at Spring Hill Suites by Marriott, where every room is more than a room.
If you're a homeowner, you have plenty to think about, like cleaning the gutters, investigating that banging noise, deciding which flowers to plant this year. One thing about being a homeowner you can think less about, questions about home insurance when you have State Farm. Your local State Farm agent is there to help you understand your coverage options and choose the protection that meets your needs, so you can focus on your home, and we'll focus on helping protect it.
Contact State Farm agent Ryan Coe to create your personal price plan today.
We're Durolast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Durolast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Durolast, the world's best roof.
So, we're finally ready to plan for retirement, but who do we trust?
Our friends at TriStar Trust. They've been here for 25 years right here in our community, and they'll be here for the next 25.
That's the kind of team I want in my corner.
TriStar Trust helps you plan your retirement, manage your investments, and build the future you've been dreaming of. Because when it comes to your goals, it's your time to shine. Visit TriStarTrust.com.
Spirit Hockey
Harmer holds it out wide. Centers. Klute scores!
lives
Looking for the stretch pass to Jilkin. He'll pop off the wall and lay down for him. Jilkin scores!
here.
Picked up by Harmer. In with speed. Carson Harmer shoots. He scores! Carson Harmer!
The radio home of your Saginaw Spirit is WSGW 100.5 FM. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meijer. Now it's game time. Live from the rink to your radio. Here is the first period play-by-play with the voice of Saginaw Spirit Hockey, Dylan Clark.
Glorious and free, oh man is a priest and on for thee. Oh man is a priest and on
The TD Civic Center in Brantford, Ontario holds just shy of 3,000. They're all full tonight. Friday night face-off in the Ontario Hockey League, the Saginaw Spirit and the Brantford Bulldogs for the final time here in 2025-2026. We'll take a look at our starting goaltenders for tonight's game. They're brought to you by NetSource One, the official technology provider of the Saginaw Spirit. David Igorov. This is the 8th game of a back-and-forth rotation. He plays one, Ryerson Leanders plays one. He plays one, Ryerson Leanders plays one. It's Igorov's turn tonight, his last game, a 20-save victory over the Oshawa Generals on February the 27th. Career high, 26th game of the season. He's got 17 wins. Stepan Shurigan became the 5th 3,000-minute goaltender in Spirit history last night in Niagara, tied with Ivan Prosvetov for the 5th most games played in a single Spirit season. This is game number 53 for the young man out of Samara, Russia. Your officials tonight brought to you by WNAM TV5. Drew Jackson and Kyle Whiteman are the referees. Zach Gagne and Dave Fold are the linesmen. Harmer, Kluge, Papoy for Saginaw in the traveling whites. Brantford, O'Brien, Van Acker, Benot in the alternate jerseys. The B on the crest. Bumblebee sleeves. Black throughout the rest, and Saginaw controls off our Delta College opening faceoff. Adam Benot will steal there from Blake Barnes. 50-50 puck in the near corner. Jake O'Brien comes onto the near side wall. Had 4 assists in Saginaw back on November the 2nd. No surprise, he's the OHL's leader. Owen Protz comes down, takes a big-time chunk out of Jacob Kluche. He's got the puck now at the left point. Protz snaps it near side. O'Brien tried to throw it in front. He threw it right onto the stick of Blake Barnes. Bulldogs keep it alive. A cross-ice pass too far for Benot. Trotz looking for the shot pass. That one tipped high over the glove-hand side of Shurigan. Josh Glavin off the glass and out. It's touched up by Brantford offside. 41 seconds gone in the first period. A couple of close calls. And Jake O'Brien, a little bit of a mix-up with Josh Glavin as they cross paths in the neutral zone. Chris Lazary talked about the importance of getting pucks out if they allow themselves, the Spirit, to be hemmed into the defensive zone. It's exactly what led to Niagara's first goal last night. The Spirit win a neutral zone face-off. Nikita Klepov, the top line is out. They'll toss things back in behind David Igorov. Puck is picked up in behind the Brantford net. Moved up the near side. Pass right up the middle. Here's Fraska down the left wing on a 2-on-1 shoot, and a save made by Shurigan, his first of the hockey game. Igor Barabanov taken heavily into the boards. Fraska's after him. This is ripped out up the wall by Testa. Cross ice. Zach Sandu now dropped off. Charlie Paquette this shot. That's sent wide. Dimas Jokin will backhand this puck up, but not away. Glove down. Now it's Testa. Left circle. Down to the goal line. A cross ice pass. Or a shot from a bad angle goes wide out the other side. Puck is kept alive. Testa, a long shot from outside the top of the face-off circles. That's blocked aside by Shurigan. 90 seconds gone. A couple of grade A scoring chances for Brantford already. They regroup in the neutral zone, and it's snapped back in by the alternate captain, Ben Danford. Saginaw puts this one onto the stick of Caleb Malholtra, one of the standout rookies here in the Ontario Hockey League this season. And the other standout rookie, Nikita Klepov, who leads the league in scoring, is going to take the puck away from him. Saginaw sends this one back in. One of the Bulldog defenders stumbles, but he got the puck out of danger. Cooper Dennis intercepted in the offensive zone now by Bodie Stewart. He flips this puck back in for Ryan Hanrahan. Edison Engel is there for the Bulldogs, and he's closed off by Jensen Geldart. A point shot by Drew Roscoe goes wide. Xander Valeris back underneath looking for Jensen Geldart. Bulldogs take it away. This is flipped up and moved out to center ice as Drew Roscoe comes over. Philip Gavdaris will be cut off, called up from Markham of the OJHL recently to fill in for some injured Bulldogs. Cooper Dennis throws a centering feed. He'll be stick checked, and the puck is taken now by Geldart. He throws it back into the Brantford zone. 2.5 minutes gone. No score here in the first period from TD Civic Center. Given away here in the offensive zone. A Brody Papoy shot will go high over the crossbar on Igorov. Couldn't get a lot on it. There was a lot of pressure. Blake Barnes back underneath. Brody Papoy down below the goal line. Shrugs off a Bulldog. Picks this puck up. Can't make a pass on it. It's taken away from him. Flipped out of danger by Vladimir Dravetsky. Now it's picked up by Ryder Bolton. Sent in front of the net. Gloved and covered by Stepan Shurigan. And Bolton, no surprise, will make himself known in front of the Spirit goal crease. Josh Glavin does what he can to hold him at bay. Bolton just back from a 5-game suspension. One of a handful as of late. And it was a 5-3 win for the Brantford Bulldogs last night in Barrie. Up 2-0, down 3-2. They come back and win that hockey game 5-3. They're winners of 3 straight. Saginaw moves this up the left side. Jacob Kluche takes a heavy shoulder there from Owen Protz. Puck is back in behind the net of David Igorov, who looks to be tested for the first time tonight. Another collision in the corner. Puck is picked up by Adam Yitterchek, and a cross-ice pass goes too far ahead of its intended target, so it's taken away by Saginaw's Josh Glavin. Yitterchek will get this puck back after a pass to Brody Papoy. Owen Protz has this back in behind the net of Igorov, and Carson Harmer will finish the line change. Top line comes back out here for Chris Lazary and the Spirit. Frasca down the left wing, trying to stretch wide on Blake Barnes. Centering pass. Luca Testa was tied up by the stick of Josh Glavin. And the Spirit captain leads things out through center red. Charlie Paquette comes back, cuts that puck down, and now it's Luca Testa. Here come the Bulldogs again into the offensive zone. This is Gabriel Frasca. Turns around away from Levi Harper. A point shot by Sandu goes wide, and the rebound is picked up on the far side wall. Here's Paquette rotating high. Near side, it's Ben Danford. Moves into the circle around Zilkin. Gets a shot off of the rebound off the goalpost. In behind Stepan Shurigan. Oh, grade A opportunity. Looked like Frasca let it go. Bulldogs regroup at neutral ice. Sent back in. They go for a line change. Luca Testa pursues James Go. The pass around is handled by Dima Zilkin. Off the boards, Carson Harmer picks things up. Shut down at the offensive blue line are the Spirit. Jake O'Brien, the Brantford captain, takes over. It's back for Sandu, then Dravetsky, and tipped in by Merrick Van Acker. Levi Harper taps it off the wall, looking for James Go. Forechecking, the Bulldogs force a turnover. Swatted at by Shurigan, who lost his net. Adam Bennett tried to put it back in front, and Shurigan will squeeze the ankles together. That puck, as he gets up, is revealed to be pressed up right against the goalpost. 15-20 left in the opening period here. No score. The best opportunity of this game so far happened just prior to that opportunity we just described to you. A centering pass from, I believe, Caleb Malhotra ended up on the stick of Frasca in front. Off the goalpost, a wide open net. And then on this most recent fray, kept out by Shurigan with the pads. Spirit win a D-zone face-off. They don't hang on to it for very long. The O'Brien line is out against Stewart, Hanrahan, and Geldart. Van Acker's got the puck down below the goal line. Curling around behind the net, Bernat gives it there to Merrick Van Acker. Off the skates of Ryan Hanrahan. Now it's picked up by Bodie Stewart, looking to go to Jensen Geldart. That pass does not connect, and Saginaw is guilty of icing. 14:58 here in the first period. Faceoff will come all the way back down into the Spirit end after that. Caleb Malhotra's line comes out. Fantastic season for he and Nikita Klepov. Those two, the only rookies in the OHL to hit 50 assists. It hasn't been done too often in the OHL since 2000 to have rookies who are in the first 2 years of draft eligibility with 50 helpers. Klepov and Malhotra. Jake O'Brien did it in 2024. A handful of Sarnia Sting players as Malhotra takes the draw against Jensen Geldart. Wins it back to Cooper Dennis. Has some room in the high slot. Drops this puck back. It's stick checked away there by Bodie Stewart. And returned to Edison Engel. Cut off by Saginaw's Hanrahan at center ice. Bulldogs will take that away. Here's Malhotra. Trying to go past Graydon Jones. Takes a heavy check there from Malhotra. And another check in the near side corner for Drew Roscoe. Bodie Stewart just gets the puck out to center ice. Cooper Dennis off his skate. Back in the Brantford zone. Geldart tries to jump the play. Malhotra is offside. Or more accurately, Philip Godaris popped into the play ahead of Malhotra. 5th on NHL Central Scouting's watch list. 2nd in rookie scoring behind Nikita Klepov. Malhotra, 26 goals, 50 assists for 76 points. Klepov, 35 goals, 52 helpers, 87 points. Nobody in the league's got more. And Klepov, 2 goals from tying Cole Perfetti's rookie record in Saginaw, 37 for Perfetti. Played 63 games that year. He did it in 62. For Klepov, this is game 61. So Barnes up the near side in this scoreless game 61 for Nikita Klepov. Jacob Kluche from neutral ice gets into the offensive zone where he's quickly put back into the boards. 2 against 2 on the near side wall. Carson Harmer trying to help out. Now here comes Brody Popoy as well. But it's taken away by the captain, Jake O'Brien. Laid back in behind the net of Igorov. Yiderchek will steal. Pass is broken up by Jacob Kluche. Picked up again by Van Acker. Now this is O'Brien up the near side. Flipped in on the backhand. That'll send Blake Barnes back to pick it up in behind Stepan Shurian, who's made 3 saves so far in this first period. Barnes pressured by Benak. This will be chased down by Josh Glavin around the wall. It's given away. Yiderchek hopped up to intercept. He goes to the corner looking for a centering pass. He'll put it onto the stick of Carson Harmer. Little fumble there. That puck does come out as Van Acker shovels it back in. So Saginaw has a quick moment to regroup on the delayed offside. Barnes up for Kluche, backhanded in. Saginaw goes for a change of its own. 13:20 to go. No score here in the first period from Brantford. Igor Barabanov got a stick in the lane of a pass, but the Bulldogs come up ice anyway. Gabriel Frasca is hit by James Go. Nikita Klepov back to Levi Harper. 3rd in rookie scoring for Harper, 53 points on the year. Bulldogs bring things back in off another turnover. This is Charlie Paquette, the backhanded around. And a head-snapping back of a Bulldog. Arms are going to stay down here. And a big-time collision as Klepov tried to bring things over the offensive blue line. Luca Testa looked to take the stick up high. Zach Sandu up for Paquette here. Flips this one high, a little too high. Oh, a heavy slash there. Paquette, a little whack for James Go, and a smile on the face of Saginaw's overage defenseman. 12:39 to go in the first. The arms will stay down. The penalty box doors will stay closed. We'll take a break. No score here in the first period from TD Civic Center. We'll be back after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You really do get it all at Garber Chevrolet in Linwood. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience that will keep you coming back. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see us. Get a better overall experience and lease for less in Linwood. Garber Chevrolet Linwood, M13, north of Bay City. Online, garberlinwood.com. Chevrolet, together. Let's drive.
Hi, this is Igor Barabanov, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM, WSGW.
Back inside TD Place. No score, or TD Civic Center, apologies, not to be confused with TD Place in Ottawa. Used to be the Brantford Civic Center. And it is a unique Brantford Civic Center. Official ice dimensions 190 by 85, a typical NHL or OHL sheet of ice 200 by 85. Now 10 feet might not seem like a big difference, but oh boy, can we tell you that it is. And what has been a fast first period so far has seemed even faster due to the short neutral zone here in this building. James Go, after a neutral zone face-off, pitch and catch with Levi Harper up to Barabanov, and Dima Zhilkin can backhand things in. Zach Sandu and Ben Danford will pick things up for the Brantford Bulldogs. Gabriel Frasca passed towards the middle, bobbled there, but controlled and backhanded in by Luca Testa. This is Stepan Shurigan out of his net to play. It's a little glancing blow from Frasca. And Testa comes on through to clean out Levi Harper, while Dima Zhilkin can backhand the puck in from center. 8 minutes gone in the first period. No score here in Brantford. Ben Danford picks this puck up, makes the backhanded pass. James Go can't keep it alive at the offensive blue line. And so it comes all the way back to him in the Saginaw zone. He'll try things again. It's deflected in by Klepov. That'll technically be the first save of the night for David Igorov. And it came on a deflection from the neutral zone. Bolton has it poked away by Drew Roscoe. James Go finds Klepov. Cuts into the offensive zone. Bolton almost took a decent-sized chunk out of Klepov. And here's Hanrahan back for Go. Drew Roscoe. Back up to Hanrahan in the neutral zone, and Bolton comes over and lays the check on Hanrahan, who pops right back up and sends the puck in deep. That's what 11 in black is out there for. Puck up the near side. He's just going to jam this one in. It'll be handled by Shurigan and snapped back up to center ice. Geldar lays it in front, too far ahead of Ryan Hanrahan, who's at the end of a long shift. Edison Engel makes sure that Hanrahan stays off the puck as it's back in behind the Brantford net. Hanrahan comes after it. One-handed poke on that stick to get it past Jeremy Freeman. Kept alive by Xander Valeris. Shoveled towards the net. Glove down by Brantford. Picked up in the corner here by Vladimir Drovetsky. And the defenseman will see it up the near side to Bolton. Now across ice feet. It'll be picked up here by Freeman. Forced wide by Saginaw. Xander Valeris. Down below the goal line they go. No more puck on his stick. Drew Roscoe locks up with Freeman. Almost halfway through this scoreless first period here in Brantford. Govdaris can't pull it off. Nick Rosetto will send it back in behind the net of Shurigan. Xander Valeris on it again. Long shoot in off a Brantford glove. It's into the skates of Bodie Stewart. Offside as he got in ahead of things. 10:29 in the first period. Well, we mentioned it off the pregame show. Brantford on home ice here from this TD Civic Center. 25 wins, 1 regulation loss, 2 in the shootout, 2 in overtime. Or 2 in overtime, 2 in the shootout is technically the order of operations there. But 1 regulation loss in this building. It came on December the 30th against the Erie Otters in a late game winner off the stick of Lucas Ambrosio. Here's Brody Papoy coming back the other way for Saginaw. And again, those are the 10th place Erie Otters in the Western Conference that Saginaw plays on Sunday. They control the puck now. The Spirit do in the neutral zone. Jacob Pluche gets away from an impending check from Caleb Malhotra. Pluche down into the corner. Hits the brakes. Jet 7th rounder gets it up. Now for Josh Glavin. The pass over to Blake Barnes rolls away. Here's a chance. Govdaris down the left side for Brantford. Drops it back to Caleb Malhotra. Cutting back and away from Glavin. Throws this one into the slot. Is knocked down by Harmer while stumbling. He'll reel this puck in and skate it up ice before backhanding in and getting drilled by Govdaris. 9:42 to go. First period, no score. Brantford calmly setting things up back in behind the net of David Igorov, who has seen 1 shot officially. None that have come from within his blue line. Here come the Bulldogs. It's the captain, O'Brien. No icing as they fire it in. Banach throws it in front. It's picked up by Saginaw's Ryan Hanrahan. Cross ice feed picked up by James Go at center. Van Acker comes over to tie him up. No more puck there. O'Brien turned it away from the pressure of Saginaw's Sawyer Schmidt. Now Banach back in from the corner. Deflected by James Go. Levi Harper back behind the net of Shurigan. Rolls a puck along the wall. Picked up by James Go. Moved to Sawyer Schmidt. Takes a couple of steps out towards neutral ice and fires it back in. Behind the back of Storch. It's glove down or stick down by David Igorov in behind the Brantford net. Bulldogs on the stretch pass. Van Acker cross corner dump in from left to right. Collides with Drew Roscoe. They both pop back up. Levi Harper on this puck for Saginaw. Standout rookie defenseman gets it up to Sawyer Schmidt. Over the line onside. Cuts back. Finds Harper. Right circle. No more puck there. A Bulldog tumbling into the defensive zone. Made sure of that. Spirit get it back, though they put it right back onto the stick of O'Brien. 8.5 to go here in a scoreless first. Banach gets out of the way of an impending check from Levi Harper. Though O'Brien, some incidental contact with Igor Barabanov, and that will bring play to a halt. Offside. 8:25 to go here in this first period. And again, less than ideal result. Saginaw 6-2 loss to Brantford on home ice back on November the 2nd. It was a less than ideal effort last time they were here as well. February the 7th of 2025, a 4-2 loss. 2 points for Igor Chernyshov, 2 points for Michael Misa. But Nick Lardis scoring his 50th and 51st goals of the season. He'd go on to break the 60-goal mark as well. Would help the Bulldogs to a 4-2 win last February. Saginaw shovels a puck deep into Brantford real estate. They chop the puck back out to center ice where it's picked up by Jones. Moved up to his captain. Hammered into the Brantford bench by Ben Danford, but Jilkin rejoins the play. Now it's Klepov's turn to be drilled, this time by Zach Sandu. Puck along the near wall again. Trying to be knocked down by Klepov. Gotten towards the middle of the ice by Luca Testa. Picked up in stride by Gabriel Frasca. Bulldogs are over the offensive blue line. They send it back behind Shurigan. Drew Roscoe Saw Testa coming, moved the puck, clap off, cross ice. This is Graydon Jones. Up to the Saginaw Blue, then through center and into the offensive zone. Drops it off to Zilkin. Left wing circle, here comes the captain. Down to the goal line. Zilkin looking for the Michigan. Lost the puck in the last second. Got about hip height before it rolled away. Barnes keeps it alive. Barabanov in the slot. Graydon Jones jammed up. Bulldogs take the puck away. Testa, good back pressure by Zilkin. Testa's the only Bulldog in a sea of white sweaters, so he sends it back in and behind. Fresh Brantford lights can come on now, down below the Spirit goal line. Yuracek comes out to the near wall, throws it through the goal mouth and out the other side. It's knocked down by Zilkin, but picked up by Brantford's Malhotra. 7 minutes left in a scoreless first period. Saginaw shovels the puck out to center. Owen Protz settles it down through the pressure of Saginaw's Klepon. Bulldogs have it at center. Govdaris into the offensive end off the skate of Blake Barnes. Caleb Malhotra now drops it back. Govdaris blew a tire. This could be an opportunity here for Saginaw. Klepov on a 2-on-1 with Jensen Geldart. Down the left side. Klepov in front. Jammed at there by Geldart. And a pad save made by David Egeron. That sets Brantford back in transition. Glavin cuts it down. Here comes Geldart down the right side. To the hash marks. In front the shot. Couldn't be tipped there by Hanrahan. And out the other side. Two of the better opportunities for Saginaw in this first period. 6:27 to go. Full shot, 4 shots for Brantford, 2 for the Spirit. Shots brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters. The puck stays behind the Brantford net at this time. Skated out by Zach Sandu. Moved into the offensive zone by Edison Engel and snapped in behind Stepan Shurigan. Took a strange bounce off the corner board. Banach in front. Great chance. Better save by Shurigan. He robs O'Brien. 7 feet off the blue crease. Shurigan comes out to make the stop and the Spirit ice the puck. 5:59 to go in the first. Nearly a home ice bounce for the Bulldogs. Stepan Shurigan used the whole 6'5" frame there to come out and make the stop. No score here just yet. We're back to Brantford in a moment here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Mike Miner to create your personal price plan today.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Defensive zone face-off here for the Saginaw Spirit after a great opportunity for Jake O'Brien, the Bulldogs captain. 9 points in his last 2 games against the Spirit, 4 assists in Saginaw, or in his last 2 trips to the Dow Event Center, I should say. Shut down here by Stepan Shurigan of the Spirit, trying to get this out again. A strange bounce off the glass, pops backwards. Glavin gets it out to center. Ryan Hanrahan had his pocket picked. Following on is Jensen Geldart. Poked away by Edison Engel. Taken by Brantford's Banach in behind the goal of Igorov. Banach will drop this puck off. Vladimir Dravetsky, near side. Edison Engel up the near wall. Van Acker throws that one off the chest of Carson Harmer. Calmly lays it off the boards in the near side corner of the Spirit end. And Drew Roscoe, the defenseman, gets it up to center red before firing it back in behind Igorov. Vladimir Dravetsky. A turnover in front, looking there for Brody Papoy was Harmer. Bulldogs take care of business. They get it back out to Xander Valeris. 5:10 here in the first. Still looking for our first marker here. This goes down for an offside, or an icing call, rather. That'll send the Spirit back in their own end. No Brody Najim, Uri Rauja, or Tyson Ackerman here in this game for the Spirit. 11 forwards, 7 defensemen. Graydon Jones is the de facto 7th D-man tonight. Sawyer Schmidt and Liam Storch are the 4th-line wingers. Typically with Carson Harmer rotating through. Here's Protz, though. The Bulldogs win an offensive zone face-off and a right pat save made by Shurigan on a point drive from Yuracek. That sends Kluche the other way, but quickly taken away in the neutral zone. So Xander Valeris can find Blake Barnes. Out of the defensive zone for the Spirit. Soft pass. Does not lay onto the stick of Kluche. Instead, hops into the Brantford end for Owen Protz, the Montreal Canadiens' 4th rounder. Bulldogs will fire this one all the way down and wide of Shurigan for an icing. Down to 4:35 here in this first period. 11 players on their roster, NHL drafted here for Brantford. Ryerson Leaders is the backup goaltender tonight, 7th rounder to Buffalo in 2024. Jet Luchenko is out for the second game with an undisclosed injury. First rounder to the Philadelphia Flyers. Parker Holmes is day-to-day. 4th rounder to the Chicago Blackhawks. So only 8, and we say only in jest, of their 11 NHL drafted players are in the lineup tonight for Brantford. Levi Harper can't clear the zone. Govdaris will turn things back in where it's picked up by Igor Barabanov, who is sure to have his name called by an NHL club this summer. Dima Zhilkin will likely follow suit next summer as he throws the puck up the near wall for Nikita Klepov. That one goes off his skate. Bulldogs have it. Luka Testa comes back the other way and fires it in off the end wall behind Shurigan, who's there to play it back around. Barabanov to the middle. Klepov, lots of speed. Over the offensive blue line. Gets held up there by Paquette. Puck comes free. Frasca, shouldered by Barabanov. The puck is poked by Harper. And it bounces back into the Spirit end. Gabriel Frasca keeps the skates going. And he's taken into the boards by Harper. Klepov can move it cross ice for Dima Zhilkin. They're back out to center ice again. Zhilkin snaps it in. They need a line change. 3:39 to go. No score here in the first. Puck is back in behind the net of Igorov. Jensen Geldart's line comes on. Chris Lazary sent this third line out quite a bit here. Essentially rolling 3 right now. He, with Hanrahan and Bodie Stewart, have had some good looks in this game so far, though they trail a shot board 6-2. Josh Glavin, heavy check as he moves the puck, and it was Bolton who laid that body. This is Jensen Geldart into the offensive zone for the Spirit. A left circle shot is absorbed by David Igorov. 3:05 left in the first. A seemingly calm conversation. Jeremy Freeman comes over to talk with Saginaw's Ryan Hanrahan. He'll stay out here for this offensive zone faceoff. Hanrahan, second goal of his OHL career last night. Snapped a 26-game drought. And of course, that does not include the time he missed with an injury. Freeman of the Toronto Titans in the GTHL last year certainly encountered Hanrahan of the Mississauga Reps somewhere along the GTHL track. This puck is back in behind the Saginaw net. Off the clear, and it's back up from Jones to Geldart. Over the line, Hanrahan fumbled it, took a whack there at Bolton, who's going to bring it back in, and he'll give Hanrahan a decent shot, fire the puck back in behind the Spirit net. Bolton throws a high shoulder against Hanrahan. Puck down the wall, Bolton's got it. Pressured by Jones. Bolton trying to throw it in front up to the near point again. Edison Engel throws that one off a stick. Loose puck in the mid-slot. Freeman shot, that one turned wide. Edison Engel. One hand on that stick, pokes it away. Jensen Geldart knocked off this puck. Bolton goes after him. Bodie Stewart up to center ice. This is Edison Engel on the regroup here for the Bulldogs. They drift all the way back into their own end. Final 2 minutes here of the first period. O'Brien snaps it back around here for Brantford. Benak took a rut in the ice, and so Saginaw will use that opportunity to clear this puck. Jiracek for Van Acker. Bump to the middle, too far ahead of O'Brien. Blake Barnes there to handle it for the Spirit. Back around it comes Van Acker. Tosses it in behind Shurigan's net. Blake Barnes up the wall, intercepted by O'Brien in front. Van Acker, the shot, great glove save. Shurigan comes out to rob him. 1:40 left in the first. That goes back to what Chris Lazary said during Coach's Corner. Pucks that they can get out, have to get out. That was a puck that Saginaw needed to get out. They could not. O'Brien throws it there, and you're staring down the best goal scorer in the OHL. And Shurigan drifting out, has the glove ready, and snares that shot on Merrick Van Acker. 1:40 to go here in the period. The faceoff will come to step on Shurigan's right. They can exercise some demons. He was pulled after 6 goals on 26 shots against Brantford back in November. Caleb Papineau entered that game and made 11 saves in relief. Saginaw gets this puck out to center ice off the D-zone draw. Klepov down the left side, poked away from him, but following on is Barabanov. Klepov gets it back to him. Igor Barabanov from the corner. Top of the left circle, this is Nikita Klepov with Zhilkin battling in front. There's Harper. Near side, James Go, right circle, gets a shot. Right pad save made by Igorov. Nobody in white there for the rebound. Bulldogs will take it. This is Van Acker, a backhanded pass. He's jammed up by Harper just inside the Spirit line. Igor Barabanov to center. Klepov gets his pocket picked. This is Van Acker trying to go cross ice and hit a stick and is taken away by Klepov again. Final minute of the first. Klepov is in. Tries to snap a shot. That's off a foot. Levi Harper lays the puck in the middle. Nobody was there, and the pass from Brantford up to Banach goes down as an icing and hopped over his stick. Down to 51.9 to go. Close calls at both ends. Some stretch passes that, if they connect, have some good opportunities to be in the back of the net. Again, David Igorov, just 4 shots seen here in this first period. It's been a timeshare. 36 games for Leanders, 26 now for Igorov, but again, they've gone back and forth for the last 8 games, including tonight. Bulldogs have the puck in their own end. Owen Protz sent off the wall. Carson Harmer up high. That one snapped off of Jacob Kluche. Bouncing puck. Banach, pocket picked by Kluche. Has it in the corner. Kluche left around, wanted Brody Papoy. 34 to go in the period. Papoy taken into the wall. The Bulldogs clear. And they picked up another icing here. So those same players will have to stay on the ice. Chris Lazary, no surprise, will send Barabanov, Klepov, and Jilkin. Harper and James Go wait at the points. Goal and an assist for Nikita Klepov last night in Brantford, a helper for Dima Jilkin, a helper for Igor Barabanov. They've all got considerable scoring acumen. They're going to win this faceoff too. Here's James Go at the right point. Drops it off there for Klepov, rotating up high, ducks down the right wing boards. Nicely picked away by the Seattle Kraken first rounder O'Brien, who lays it ahead, skated into by Banach. Might have a breakaway. He scores! There was almost no room. Banach found it. 1-0 Bulldogs here at the end of the first. Well, for as good as this period has been on the Saginaw point of view, you got to tip the cap. A fantastic play there from the Bulldogs. O'Brien, really good defensive stick in his own zone. Floats a pass that lands at the Saginaw blue line, is caught up to with speed for Adam Banach. 3 points last night against the Colts. A left shot, one deke, and he flips it up over the glove of Shurigan for his 25th of the season and the 1-0 Brantford lead that they will take into the dressing room. Drew Roscoe has a couple of extra words for Gabriel Frasco. Josh Glavin does too. Luca Testa, not a fan of Glavin. 1-0, the Bulldogs have the lead after 20 minutes of play. It wasn't until 19 minutes and about 50 seconds until they found one on the board. All things considered, lots to be happy about on the Saginaw side of things. Of course, some things to clean up as well. Bulldogs 1, Saginaw 0. First intermission report with Jonathan back in the studio comes up in a moment. They are on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
Independent Bank is proud to be the corporate sponsor of your Saginaw Spirit. We've been banking in Michigan for 160 years and have always put our customers and communities first. We pride ourselves on being a full-service bank, offering an exceptional banking experience for personal, small business, and commercial banking customers, helping them to achieve financial independence. Be a game changer. Be independent. Member FDIC.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at garberchesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Prost Wine Bar and Charcuterie now has 2 buzzing locations to enjoy. Visit us in downtown Frankenmuth or in uptown Bay City. We offer a full bar, menu, and memorable atmosphere. Walk-ins are always welcome, and Bay City is now accepting reservations online at prostwinebar.com. Open 7 days a week. Make Prost Wine Bar in Frankenmuth or uptown Bay City your destination for great wine and even better times.
It's time for your intermission report. In the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, here is Jonathan Dent.
The Spirit keep it a scoreless tie through most of the first period. No small part thanks to their goaltender Stepan Shurigan, but in the waning seconds, the Brantford Bulldogs take a 1-0 lead into the middle frame. Let's take a look back at that first period, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. The Bulldogs came out with some speed, tried to get some shots moving towards the goal. Saginaw got a couple breakouts, but they're really not able to get much set up as the Bulldogs throw the body around a little bit. As time wears on, Saginaw starts to get their footing under them a little bit. More of a back and forth period through the middle minutes of this one as both sides start to limit the other side's time in the offensive zone, even more so in those high danger areas. The Spirit's first real chance comes later in the period. It's a 2-on-1 rush. Klepov takes the shot low from the left circle. Geldart follows it up, but he's stopped by the Bulldogs' Igorov.
Caleb Malhotra now drops it back. Doris blew a tire. This could be an opportunity here for Saginaw. Klepov on a 2-on-1 with Jensen Geldart. Down the left side. Klepov in front. Jammed that there by Geldart. And a pad save made by David Igorov.
Brantford responds. Shurigan shuts down their top scorer, Jake O'Brien, when he receives a quick pass in front from Freeman below the goal line. The best look at that point of the period.
Moved into the offensive zone by Edison Engel and snapped in behind Stepan Shurigan. Took a strange bounce off the corner board. Banach in front. Great chance. Better save by Shurigan. He robs O'Brien. 7 feet off the blue crease. Shurigan comes out to make the stop, and the Spirit ice the puck.
He comes up big again later in the period when O'Brien feeds the OHL's top goal scorer, Marek Van Acker, all alone on the left side.
Tosses it in behind Shurigan's net. Blake Barnes up the wall, intercepted by O'Brien in front. Van Acker, the shot, great glove save. Shurigan comes out to rob him.
In the closing seconds, O'Brien sends a puck overhead down the ice toward the Spirit, and Adam Banach catches up to it first, and he flies it all the way in to score, making it 1-0.
It's nicely picked away by the Seattle Kraken first rounder O'Brien, who lays it ahead, skated into by Banach. Might have a breakaway. He scores. There was almost no room. Banach found it. 1-0 Bulldogs here at the end of the first.
That goal coming with only 12 seconds remaining in the period is the lone tally of the game here so far tonight. Brantford leading on the shot count 8-4, and the only goal, Adam Banach's 25th of the season. The lone assist goes to Jake O'Brien. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, lots to break down in that first period. We'll bring Dylan into the conversation right here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
Looking for the perfect place for your loved one to thrive? At Traditions of Saginaw, we offer comfort, care, and community. It's a senior living hat trick. Whether it's enjoying delicious, chef-prepared meals, personalized support, or fun events, Traditions of Saginaw feels like home. Schedule your tour today and see why families trust us for peace of mind and vibrant living. Learn more at traditionsofsaginaw.com or call to schedule a tour today. Traditions of Saginaw. Welcome home.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
It takes each of us to make Saginaw a place we're proud to call home. Since 1984, Saginaw Community Foundation has helped build and strengthen Saginaw County by bringing together people and resources to make a difference. We're a one-stop shop for giving, building endowments, grant making, and community leadership. Visit SaginawFoundation.org today to learn more about how you can help support your community. Saginaw Community Foundation, building a flourishing community for all, for good, forever.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit hockey is WSGW.
Welcome back. After one period of play, the Brantford Bulldogs lead the Saginaw Spirit 1-0, bringing in from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth, Dylan Clark. And Dylan, that one goal coming with just 12 seconds remaining. For the majority of that period, it was a scoreless tie. And let's look at the shot count, 8-4. Brantford is the number one team in the league, the number one scoring team. They're top of the standings. You're going into the first intermission, not too shabby for the Saginaw Spirit.
No, you're absolutely right. And I think even more so that would be the case if they had survived those last 12 seconds or 11.6 seconds without a goal against. But still, I mean, if you would have told this team, hey, the highest scoring team in the OHL that's only lost one time in regulation on home ice this year, you're going to be down 1-0 to them in the first intermission. All right, that's manageable, right? I mean, coming into this game, 264 goals for. That's 30 up on the second-place team in the OHL, the Flint Firebirds. Now it's 265 goals on the season for Brantford as they're up 1-0 here tonight. Saginaw's also held them to just 8 shots in that first period. Now, is that going to continue for an entire game? Very difficult to say. Pretty unlikely. Brantford averages 33.3 shots per game. That's 4th most in the league. They're on pace for 24, though, right now. So if the Spirit can keep the containment to where they did in that first period, they got bailed out by Stepan Shurugan a couple of times. Got some goalpost luck as well. But if they can keep this level of containment, they have to. They might be okay here in this hockey game.
Well, let's talk about that containment a little bit, because the first 10 minutes of play, I think, really tell the story of how Saginaw was able to weather that storm. It starts in the face-off circle. Brantford came out looking to score early. Saginaw really able to limit the chances, largely thanks to really good face-offs, especially early on.
Yeah, and it's been 2 players leading the charge. Carson Harmer, 3 of 6. Igor Barabanov, 4 of 5 from the face-off dot. Shilkin's 1 for 1. Jensen Geldart, 2 for 5. So he's got a little bit of room for improvement there. But again, you're throwing a first-year player that's playing in his 39th OHL game. You're throwing him to the Wolves a little bit against some of these centermen here. Jake O'Brien, Caleb Malhotra. Malhotra has to struggle. He's 4 for 4, but O'Brien, 1 of 6. So a little bit of a different first period for the dot. You'll take whatever you can get here for this Saginaw team, who, again, is probably fair to say a little bit outmatched in this hockey game with a number of NHL picks on the other side. So you'll take whatever advantages you can, and an advantage in the face-off dot is not exactly small.
Another part of that containment, that limiting the shot opportunity, is limiting the amount of time the Bulldogs are able to stay in the offensive end. Some dangerous pucks are able to be cleared out, at least to the neutral zone. To me, the breakouts might be a little bit cleaner, but you really can't complain too much when you're able to limit that offensive possession time as much as the Spirit were able to in that first period.
No, did Brantford have some really good looks in the offensive end? Yeah. Did they have some pretty decent zone time in some stretches? Yeah, they did. But, Chris Lazar mentioned during Coach's Corner, the pucks that need to get out. And with the exception of that one chance along the far wall, O'Brien kind of jumps down on Blake Barnes, forces a turnover. Merrick Van Acker all alone in front, and Stepan Shurugan comes out probably a foot beyond his goal crease to make that stop. They got bailed out by their goaltender there. He's going to have to do that a handful more times in this game, like we said. But with really the exception of that play that we just described to you, the Spirit have done well to just get things back out the center and live to fight another day.
Just living to fight another day isn't going to cut it. You got to score to win games. Now, I think that the zone entries have been all right. They've been kept largely to the outside or down to the corners by this Bulldogs defense. How are they going to be able to break in and start the scoring? I look at that chance from Klepov on the rush. he had one defender all over him, but Geldart is there for the follow-up. Are we looking for more chances like that moving into the second period?
I think so, and you know what? We mentioned it earlier, too. This is a short rink, 190 instead of 200 feet long. So it's a really small neutral zone, so there's no room. There's no room in the neutral zone at all. So I think it's going to be as much speed as possible. Saginaw's going to have to generate that coming out of their own end. They're going to have that speed by the time they hit the red line, because another half a stride and, whoops, you're offside. So they've got to have that speed as they hit the line. And we saw Nikita Klepov do it a couple of times at the tail end of that period. Saw Brody Papoy on an occasion as well. They're going to have to lug things probably down the walls, take some bumps, take some bruises, but just do whatever they can to get in as fast as possible and work it from there. We saw as that period wore on, the Bulldogs wore down a little bit. Saginaw was able to kind of weasel their way into the offensive zone. They're going to have to weasel some more here in the second.
We'll see if they're able to generate some more of those opportunities as we move into the middle frame. Dylan, as always, thank you for your time. It's a 1-0 lead for Brantford. We'll take a look at our out-of-town scores coming up here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Garber Buick is America's oldest Buick dealership. Our factory-trained service technicians deliver precision care to keep your vehicle performing at its best. We also have an award-winning body shop. We even sell parts and tires. You truly get it all at Garber Buick. Better service, better selection, and better prices. Garber Buick, State Street in Saginaw. Online, garberbuick.com. Buick, exceptional by design.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
In hockey, every play counts, and retirement's no different. At McIntosh and Associates, we're your financial line mates, helping you skate through the tough stuff. Taxes, healthcare, income planning, and more. You bring the goals. We'll help set up the assist. Schedule your visit at wealthmichigan.com or call 989-692-2200. Retirement made clear, with a team that plays to win.
Are you looking to make a sweet change in your career? Plant your career with Michigan Sugar Company. Michigan Sugar Company is now hiring STEM, skilled trades, maintenance, and general labor roles at their Bay City, Caro, Croswell, and Seaboing factories. Visit michigansugar.com/careers for a full list of available roles and to start your application today. Michigan Sugar Company, making life sweeter since 1906.
As proud sponsors of the Saginaw Spirit Hockey Team, the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network invite you to join us in supporting the players in our community. Our mission is to prevent suicide through education, advocacy, connection to resources, and support for those impacted by suicide. Visit us at srrn.net. That's srrn.net to learn more about our programs and events. Let's go Spirit!
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Welcome back. Jonathan Dent here with your out-of-town scores. They're presented by Buffalo Wild Wings, and the number of the period is 0, as there are a lot of scoreless teams around the OHL, at least through the first 20 minutes. The Sioux Greyhounds are scoreless with a 1-0 deficit to the Kitchener Rangers. The London Knights lead the Erie Otters 3-0. The Peterborough Petes have a 2-0 advantage over the Niagara Ice Dogs. It's a scoreless tie. They've got double zeros there between the Brampton Steelheads and the Kingston Frontenacs. The Sarnia Sting 0 with a 1-goal deficit to the Flint Firebirds. The Sudbury Wolves up 2-0 over the visiting Oshawa Generals, and the Guelph Storm looking to hold on to that 6th place spot in the Western Conference, up 3-0 over the visiting Owen Sound Attack after one period of play. We'll keep you updated on all of those as we move through. Some of them already starting out second period action. The Spirit and the Bulldogs in a 1-0 game. Second period action coming up after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Dow, we believe performance starts long before the whistle blows. It begins in the lab, where science meets sport. From apparel to plane surfaces to gear, we create cutting-edge materials that help drive high performance from lab to stadium. Because in sports, just like in science, every second counts. And every material matters. Dow, at the intersection of sport and science. Learn more at dow.com/sports.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Chris Barrios to create your personal price plan today. You really do get it all at Garber Midland. It's more than just better prices. It's better financing, better selection, and a better overall customer experience. And we're more than the place you buy your vehicle. We're also where your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards of service. Come see how you can get it all at Garber Midland at the corner of Saginaw and Eastman. See all our inventory online at garbermidland.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
Start of the second period here between the Saginaw Spirit and the Brantford Bulldogs. 1-0 Brantford on a late first period goal from Adam Banach. 3 points last night against the Barrie Colts. This is now 4 straight with at least a point for him, as he flipped one up over the glove of Shurigan for his 25th of the year. No carryover penalties because there were none in that first period. We started 5-on-5 in Saginaw. Moving right to left, they shovel the puck in behind David Egeroff. Glove down at center by Carson Harmer. Moved by Josh Glavin, looking there for Kluche. Same group starts out the second for Chris Lazary that began the first. Get a check, throws it up. It'll be behind the stick of Harmer. Blake Barnes comes over. Can't be knocked down by Caleb Malhotra. So he curls back in the neutral zone. Left shot centerman weaves his way in and sends the puck back in behind. Glavin knocks him off balance. He goes hard into the wall. Now the puck up high here for the Bulldogs. Cooper Dennis sends it over into the circle. Cross ice back. Here's Dennis. Shurigan gets up and he makes the save. 19:10 to go here in the second. Shurigan makes the stop and a little bit of retribution right in front of the net. Not sure if it was Philip Govdaris who's getting the worst of things from the Spirit right now, or if it was Caleb Malhotra, but they're all right. And Josh Glavin all right, too. He went pretty heavily into the end wall. And fortunately for Glavin, it was the right shoulder that makes the impact with the boards instead of the left, because that was what got jammed up in Sarnia a couple of weeks ago and led to him missing some time. 40 seconds gone here in this first period, or the second period rather. Saginaw trails Brantford 1-0. Bulldogs get the puck back out and regroup at center. And Danford wristing it back in behind Shurigan, who's made 8 saves so far in this hockey game. 53rd of the season for him. Luca Testa between the dots, pocket picked by Barabanov. Here comes Dimas Yilkin into the offensive zone, pushes it wide of the net. Rebound chance. He's going to send that one towards the net. Another pad save made by Igorov. Klepov has it. Near side. Harper, one-timer, and the stick snaps. Had a great opportunity. He goes back to the bench for a new one. James Go. Harper's got a new stick. He's got the puck, too. Harper, just inside the line, does what he can to keep it alive. Barabanov twists it off the boards. Klepov in the right wing corner. Races for Zach Sandu. Klepov escapes. Comes around on his backhand. On the near side boards. Cuts to the middle. Here's Klepov. There's a delayed penalty coming against the Bulldogs, as James Go will shoot it into the skates of some Brantford players. And a cross-checking penalty is upcoming to Ben Danford. He was locked up in front of the net with Saginaw's captain, Dimas Yilkin. Danford sits down. Saginaw, their first IBEW Local 557 power play in this game. 6th best in the league at 24%. Brantford, middle of the road, surprisingly, for the best team in the league. 10th on the PK, just shy of 79%. Carson Harmer ties up. Jilkin helps it for Kluche, then Barabanov. Walking in, takes a shot that goes high. Nikita Klepov's on this puck. He's the 5th man on the Spirit power play, 5 forwards. Carson Harmer to the near wall. Dimas Yilkin Stops just inside the blue line. Ducks down the boards, looking to get around O'Brien. Jilkin tries to keep it in front of him. O'Brien can't get it out. Jilkin got a stick on it. Barabanov rescues that puck. Keeps it alive. Floats it cross ice. It finds its way onto the tape of Jacob Kluche. Goals in 4 straight here. Kluche finds Barabanov. Walking to the middle. Shoots. That's off Harmer in front. Bumps it over. Jilkin the shot. That was blocked by Yuracek. Now Klepov on the far wall. 40 seconds gone in the power play. Barabanov. Jilkin fakes the one-timer in the near circle, drifting back. Barabanov again. Jilkin, one-timer, shoots it off the goal post on the glove hand side of Igorov, and it comes all the way down into the Spirit end. Igor Barabanov controls. Bulldogs get some fresh penalty killers out. 60 seconds gone on the Ben Danford penalty for cross-checking. Jilkin, a little trouble at the line. He lost it in the skates of Barabanov. Harmer will come back and smoothly skate away from Malhotra. Carson Harmer, some decent puck protection there. He drops it back into his own end, but he hung on to the darn thing. Barabanov there for Dima Jilkin. Right up through center. Jilkin over the line. Harmer walks down the wall. Barabanov up high, 30 on the power play. Kluche to the circle, then gives it out to the boards. Klepov, lots of head fakes. Top of the circle, sends it through, can't find Jilkin. Off the near wall, Jilkin flops a puck back that's handled by Barabanov. Spins around, waits for a lane, finds Jilkin looking in front. That blocked by Dravetsky. 15 on the power play. Barabanov up high again. Over. Klepov, one-timer. Great save by Igorov. He gets over, and the Bulldogs clear. 8 seconds on the kill, and that should be it. The Spirit do not break through, and O'Brien's going to steal back in behind the Spirit net now. Back at 5-on-5. Danford is out. Puck is intercepted by Hanrahan. He just guides it back out the center. A couple of really good looks and a goal post there for the Spirit power play in their first try. It stays 1-0 Brantford. Here's Yuracek. Down the corner, back in front. Off some skates and some sticks. Levi Harper, pocket pick, gotten out of danger by Jensen Geldart. Harper back behind the net. James Go wheels it around. This is Ryan Hanrahan at his own blue line. Cross-ice pass can't be settled by Van Acker. Edison Engel shoulders Levi Harper, and they control the puck back in behind the Brantford net. Yuracek gets it up the near side, tapped off the wall by O'Brien. Adam Benoit shut down by James Go. Puck still rolls down the wall into the Spirit end. Bulldogs get right back after it. The puck not moving too far off the boards, and it's flipped ahead by Bodie Stewart. Jensen Geldart races after it, but Edison Engel gets there first. Engel, 6th-rounder to Winnipeg. Hit into the linesman by Stewart. Hanrahan alone in front. Now the pass to Geldart. He scores! The Spirit forced a turnover. Geldart snaps one past the glove of Igorov. 15-13 to go in the second period, and Saginaw has tied the game at 1. And the youngsters do it again. And what better time of the year for that to be the case? Jensen Geldart, 4th of the season. He helped out on Ryan Hanrahan, so of course Hanrahan's going to return the favor after a heavy check in the neutral zone forced a turnover. Jensen Geldart's got 4 in the Ontario Hockey League, and the game is tied. Back into the Bulldogs end. This is Owen Protz. Liam Storch, a poke check there. That causes Protz to double back. Puck up the near wall again. Saginaw on the turnover. Papoy the shot. Broken up. Rebound chance by Sawyer Schmidt. That one sent out by Igorov. Puck is flipped off the glass. This is Liam Storch here. And it will be blown down. As the puck was played, they'll say by a high stick. 14:49 to go in the second. And Ryan Hanrahan has the only assist on the Jensen Geldart goal. I believe Bodie Stewart came over to throw that check in the neutral zone and force the turnover. We'll try to get a look at that whenever we can and confirm that that's the case, because whoever that player was, they're not going to get an assist, but they started that whole thing. Again, we'll see who threw that body check in the neutral zone. 14:49 to go in the second, and it is confirmed Bodie Stewart threw that check. So an honorary apple for 27. As this puck is picked up back in behind the Brantford net, Dima Jilkin hit by Frasca. Barabanov goes after it. Saginaw forechecking like they have some belief here. Good reason to have it. Klepov back up at the right point. This is James Go. Near side, Levi Harper walking towards the middle. 3 players exchange up high. Harper escapes into the circle, and the shot deflects wide. James Go backhands it to the corner. Zach Sandu knocks shoulders with Jilkin. Sandu pulls it away. Back in behind the Brantford net, there's Danford. He'll lift the puck up for Testa, but it's taken away by James Go and laid off the wall. Zach Sandu for Ben Danford. Up to Charlie Paquette. The former Generals feed the former Guelph Storm captain, and Paquette down the left side in front for Testa. Blocked by Barabanov, and Frasca the shot, saved by Shurigan. Rebound picked up by Zilkin. Sends it around the horn. Harper hit by Testa. Puck rejected at the Brantford line. Kluche comes back to touch up. Zilkin in with speed. Curls and drags, and the shot deflected high by Vladimir Dravetsky. Kluche drilled by Malhotra. Puck is taken by Zilkin at center. He waits for Barabanov to touch up and fires it back behind Igorov. 13.5 to go. Second period, tie game. Kluche stumbles as he's hit into the net. Kluche in some discomfort here. He can't get back up. Here come the Bulldogs. Dennis down the right side, deflected. Kluche hobbles. He can't get back to the bench. Bulldogs have the puck. 5 against 4 in the offensive zone. Now, here comes Bodie Stewart back at even strength. Malhotra's shot jammed into the skates of Papoy. He's going to come back the other direction. Edison Angle comes over to take it away from him. Vladimir Dravetsky down the wing, and it's angled back in by Dennis. Back in behind the Spirit net. This is Shurigan. Lavin taken into the boards. Look out, a turnover. Malhotra sent it wide on the stick side of Shurigan. Bulldogs have it high in the zone. Bodie Stewart can't knock it away from Malhotra. This is Edison Angle down the wing. Blake Barnes there for the Spirit. 2 against 2 back in the trapezoid behind Stepan Shurigan. The puck leaks free. Nobody in white can get it, but the Bulldogs split the defense at the top of the zone. The pass misses, so it's back out to their own end. Malhotra poked by Stewart. At the Brantford line, Papoy knocked off the puck, but he gets right back on it. Falling, can't get a shot away. Bodie Stewart tries to stick lift Dravetsky. The puck is knocked down, and Harmer bowls a man off the puck. It was Malhotra. The Bulldogs are offside. They want a penalty, and a frustrated slam of the stick from Caleb Malhotra as Carson Harmer bulldogs a Bulldog off that hockey puck. 12:17 to go in the period. Looks like we'll stay at 5-on-5. 1-1 here from Brantford. We're back in a moment on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
You're looking for a better price on a better car, so dare to be different. Get to Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw, the only Hyundai dealer in the Great Lakes Bay region. See why Hyundai is so much better. Garber's certified factory-trained technicians, knowledgeable parts staff, and dedicated sales team will keep you coming back to Garber Hyundai. You really do get it all at Garber. Dare to be different. Choose better at Garber Hyundai on Bay Road in Saginaw. Online, garberhyundai.com.
Hi, this is Ryan Hanrahan, and you're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
12:17 here in the second period from the TD Civic Center. 1-1. Thanks to Jensen Geldart's 4th goal of the season. Jacob Kluche, who was hobbling back to the Spirit bench on that last play, did just test the wheels out during that TV timeout. And we believe he's going to be all right. He's on the bench, though. We'll keep an eye on 42, who's in the middle of a 4-game scoring streak. Saginaw, meanwhile, tries to wheel this puck around the defensive zone. O'Brien forces a turnover for Brantford, but Banach put that off of Bodie Stewart. And so Jiracek has to chase down in the Bulldogs' end. Banach puts it back for him. Stewart forechecking. So is Geldart. Nearly forces a turnover. This is Jiracek. Up for Banach, who's got the Brantford goal. Pass across the back. Chance, and it stopped there. Shurigan got rolled over by Jiracek, who was hopping up. They both pop back. Now here's Hanrahan into the offensive zone. 4 against 2. Roscoe the shot and a pad save. Kicked out there by Igorov, and here come the Bulldogs again. O'Brien, end-to-end, the track meet down the left side. Van Acker scores! 11:34 to go in the second. He found a puck-sized window over the shoulder of Shurigan, and that's where he put it to make it 2-1. Great chance for the Bulldogs at one end. Shurigan makes a save. It gets bulldozed. A chance for Saginaw coming back the other way. O'Brien, Van Acker into the left circle. Catch and release. And the OHL's leading goal scorer will lead by one more. It's 43, and that, boy, oh boy, that is a pretty shot to see. Though it puts Saginaw down 2-1. Good on Stepan Shurigan for being able to shrug off that contact. He got rolled by Jiracek. He's all right. They're going to need their goaltender here in this game. Down 2-1 as we seem to be trading punches here. That puck will be chopped up and into the seats out of play. And we'll drop things in the neutral zone again, it would seem. 7 games left in the season for the Brantford Bulldogs. Again, the OHL's leading assist getter, Jake O'Brien, picks up his second of the game on the Merrick Van Acker goal. But 7 games left after this one here for the Bulldogs, who have locked up a playoff spot, of course, as the OHL's best team. They'd like to lock up the division, the conference, and the Hamilton Spectator Trophy as the league's best regular season squad. So don't tell them they've got nothing to play for. Here's a chance for Zhilkin in the offensive zone that's swept wide. Barabanov, after Zhilkin forced the turnover, they send it back around. Klepov on the far wall, up at the point. James Go takes a shot, tipped by Zhilkin, save Igorov. Barabanov again, up high, lost the puck. Backhanded in by Klepov, chased down by Zhilkin. Danford's on him. Dima Zhilkin kicks it up along the wall, continues to go up high and wheel it down low. Klepov behind the net. Sandu on Klepov, the pass in front, nobody home. Zhilkin pokes it, keeps it alive. Barabanov, near side. Harper left circle, shoots, fought off by Igorov. Rebound is loose in front. Klepov just knocks it to the wall, where he tries to chase it down against Frasco. James Go is there with Klepov. Now for Zhilkin in the circle. Picks up the pass, goes behind the net. Throws it off a Bulldog and around the near side. This is Levi Harper to backhand it back in for his captain. Knocks it down. Danford's on it. Go is on Danford. And the puck up the wall to Brantford's Paquette. Barabanov looking to step up on Testa. All he got was the stick, which goes flying. Now Barabanov catches the Bulldogs changing. Barabanov's got to go over the loose stick. Takes a shot off the tip of the glove. Oh, Igorov just got a piece of it. Barabanov tries to stay after it. This is Malhotra. Back in behind the net of Igorov. As the Bulldogs recalculate on the breakout here. Malhotra poked out by Kluche. He's got his first shift here after that instance of limping back to the bench. Back behind the Spirit net. This is Josh Glavin. Off the boards. Out to Dravetsky, the Brantford defenseman at center. Bouncing puck. Little trouble there. Drill on a hit by Brody Popoy. Was Edison Angle. Play continues. Puck at center red. Malhotra hit by Popoy again. This is Kluche as Carson Harmer and Govdaris go at one another. Josh Glavin just lays it back in. It's knocked out of the air. As Edison Angle is hit by Carson Harmer. What a shift that Brody Popoy is having. He throws a shoulder after Malhotra. Dravetsky back in the Bulldogs' end. Malhotra is watched by Kluche as he tries to force a turnover. This is Dravetsky. Back in behind the Bulldogs' net again. 11 minutes gone in the second. Brantford leads it 2-1. Blake Barnes in his own end. Lays this puck up the wall. Kluche can't find Ryan Hanrahan. It's Dravetsky to find Edison Angle. And then Cooper Dennis into the offensive zone for Brantford. Throws it into the far corner. This one sent back around by Nick Rossetto. Taken away by Josh Glavin. Then the long stretch pass up to Hanrahan. Bumped to the middle by Jensen Geldart. Walks in. His shot gets deflected. Owen Protz gets after Geldart in the corner. Protz takes the puck away. Hanrahan comes for the support. But it's gotten back out to center where Jones can slide it over for Drew Roscoe. Off the stick of Hanrahan. Owen Protz hit by Jensen Geldart. Hanrahan gets in after Nick Rossetto. And the puck is flipped up by Adam Yudacek. Yes, brother David. He's just traded today in the NHL. Both played here. Hanrahan gets drilled back in the Saginaw end. Barabanov throws it up the wall. That'll be intercepted. A couple of Spirit players collide with one another. Jeremy Freeman down the wing. Tries to dance around Barabanov. Freeman back behind the net. On his backhand. Stops up. Watched by Barabanov. Centering pass. Can't be knocked home. It was Ryder Bolton in front. Now a chance on the left point as Bolton gives Jones a rough ride. The puck is up high. Looking for a one-timer. Protz and a left pad save made by Shurigan. Drew Roscoe, I believe, is taking a stick up high. Puck is kept alive by Yudacek again. Dancing on through into the slot. Hangs onto the puck. This is over. Great save, Shurigan, as he shuts down Rossetto from the circle. Bulldogs trying to put it back in front. Bouncing puck. Yudacek, top of the circle. Tries to outweight Ryan Hanrahan. Put it in front. That one deflected. Good defensive stick by Barabanov. Clears the zone for Saginaw. They get a line change. 7:14 to go here in the second. Still a 2-1 lead for the Brantford Bulldogs. More strong saves for Stepan Shurigan. Brantford's got the 14-10 shot advantage. Frasca into the offensive zone for the home team. Sends it back in behind Stephon Shurigan. Levi Harper, the defenseman there for Saginaw. Carson Harmer is held off there by Frasca. Backhanded pass broken up by Nikita Klepov. He can't chase it down in the neutral zone. Tries to steal from Ben Danford. Klepov gets a piece of it. Harmer follows, puts it in front for Zhilkin. Back behind the net. Dima Zhilkin throws it off the boards up to the point, but it can't be kept alive by James Go. Now back in his own end. Pursued by Testa. Zhilkin on it for the Spirit. Up to the red line. Carson Harmer hits the man on the weak side. Levi Harper hopping up on the rush. Ben Danford does what he can to hold off him with the shoulder. Now up to the point. James Go walks in and shoots off a body. Harper's in front. Taken away calmly by the defender Zach Sandu and lifted up at scoreboard height out to center. It bounces into the offensive zone. 3-on-1 for the Bulldogs. Broken up there by James Go as he shut down that pass from Frasca that didn't look like it was ever going to be an option. Levi Harper off the glass. Heavy collision. Gets the puck in for Zhilkin. Delayed offside. He and Klepov have to peel off. 6 minutes left in the second period. 2-1 Bulldogs. O'Brien's got assists on both of their goals. They're rejected at the offensive blue line as O'Brien tried to carry it in. Vladimir Dravetsky sent back up to center. Angled back in by Van Acker, who's got the go-ahead goal. League leading 41st. Top line is out. As this is picked up by Josh Glavin. Lifting it up, looking for Storts at the line. It'll bounce behind him. They're offside, and Igorov winds up like he's playing a game of ping pong and paddles that puck out of danger. Sawyer Schmidt hit by the shoulder of O'Brien. Adam Bannock, top line for the Bulldogs out against Saginaw's fourth. Storts, Schmidt, and Popoy. Dravetsky is going to hop up on the rush here for the Bulldogs. Into the offensive zone, slides it over. Great chance, O'Brien, but he's held off by Brody Popoy again. Now a loose puck in front, taken away by Sawyer Schmidt. He's got to skate it out. Schmidt closed off, but he got the job done. Drilled by Van Acker for his efforts. Bannock is spun out by Popoy, who's got to touch up, and he will be called for a penalty. Cross-checking to Brody Popoy. 4:56 left in the second period. Saginaw goes shorthanded for the first time tonight, down 2-1. We take a break. An exciting second period here. Returns in a moment on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
When you're shopping for insurance, you might say, "What? Huh?"
I'm so over this.
But what you really need to say is something that could actually help.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
When you get a local State Farm agent, they can help make it easy and help you choose the coverage you need. Plus, they're available online, over the phone, or even in person.
I'm so into this.
Contact State Farm agent Kathy Taffel to create your personal price plan today.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
A cross-checking penalty to Brody Popoy has Saginaw on their first Stormaster Exteriors penalty kill of the game. They're down 2-1, and the Bulldogs win the draw. Get a check at the center point. Fumbles it for a moment. Klepov helps to force a turnover. Drew Roscoe weaves his way up and backhands it in from center. Igorov, the goaltender, out to play it in the Brantford zone. Klepov made it a 4-2 game last night with a shorthanded goal, his team leading third of the season. Not sure how offensive-minded Saginaw is in a game like this while down a man, though they do shut down the Bulldogs at their blue line. Caleb Malhotra picks the puck up, tries to drive wide on Klepov. Saginaw's Klepov wins the battle, backhands it away, but it's gloved down by Van Acker. Walks into the circle, throws it in front, pad save by Shurigan on a shot that may have looked like a pass, or may have intended to be a pass. The Spirit will clear either way. David Igorov can't play it as it's in the zone that is restricted to goaltenders, sometimes known as the pie slice. Yudacek broken up by Jensen Gellard at center. One of several Spirit rookies who are having some fantastic games. And despite the penalty, Brody Popoy is as well. Adam Bannock throws this one in on the backhand in behind Shurigan. There are 49 seconds left on the Popoy penalty. Shurigan tries to clear it himself off a Brantford glove, but Gellard comes over and gets the puck back into the Bulldogs zone. Brantford chips it in. Jones is pursued by Malhotra. Jones just hit the top 4 inches of the glass with the puck. He kept it alive and cleared. And now Kluche is going to intercept shorthanded. Down the wing, looking in front for Harmer. That was broken up by Dravetsky. Here come the Bulldogs with 20 on the power play. Dropped off. Dravetsky trying to throw it back in front. Broken up by Harmer. Cooper Dennis sent back up to the right point. This is Bannock. Curls inside the offensive blue line for Brantford. Watched by Brody Popoy, or Jacob Kluche rather, who's going to clear. And that'll take the Brody Popoy penalty down to 6 seconds. Igorov knocks it down. That is a huge penalty kill for the Saginaw Spirit as Brody Popoy steps out of the penalty box. Gravetsky, cross-corner dump in for Brantford. 2:48 left in the second period. It remains a 2-1 Brantford lead. Carson Harmer takes a puck away at center and backhands it slowly in for Igorov. They go for a change. Igorov dumps the puck up to Dravetsky. Edison Engel for Frasca. Intercepted by Barabanov. Then picked up by Zhilkin over the line. The drop pass Klepov. When they go back to Barabanov, it's intercepted by Paquette. He's back the other direction here for the Bulldogs. Charlie Paquette. Cooper Dennis on the cross-ice feed. They drop it back again. Danford, the blind backhand pass. Nobody in black and gold was there. So it's back in behind the Spirit net. Zhilkin skates it out. Puck rolled up on him as he tried to clear. He gets a stick knocked out of his hand by Paquette, who keeps the puck alive. Now the captain, O'Brien. Near side, Dennis. Shot blocked by James Go. Shurgan doesn't know where it is. Goes to the far wall. Levi Harper tries to lift the stick of O'Brien, who curls it away from Barabanov. Tries to take it to the net, gets knocked down. Bulldogs want a penalty. The puck rolls away. Danford keeps it alive here inside the final 2 minutes of the period. Over into the circle. Van Acker thrown in front. O'Brien down to the corner. Laid up at the left point. Sandu now for O'Brien down the wall. Near side at the right point. Another big collision. Danford throws it to the net. Broken plate. Saves Shurigan with the pad on a knuckle puck that came off the stick of Van Acker. Shurigan covers for a faceoff. 1:32 here in the second. Stays a 2-1 game. Saginaw in scramble mode in the defensive zone, but got the job done here. Outshot 7-6 here in the second period. And as Jonathan and I mentioned, Brantford averaging over 33 shots a game. That's fourth best in the OHL coming into this game. O'Brien on the offensive zone draw against Harmer. And O'Brien will win it back. Yudacek keeps things alive at the line for Van Acker. Steps in and shoots. And that one blocked by Harmer. By our count, at least 2 or 3 block shots for Carson Harmer in this game. Owen Protz down the boards. Gets it back at the left point. 1:15 in the period. Protz walks to the middle. Shot blocked again by Carson Harmer. Sent down to the corner. O'Brien's on it. Walking up the boards. Knocked down by Yudacek and gotten across to Protz. Back to the seam. Intercepted by Kluche. Final 60 seconds of the period. Kluche onto the backhand of Brody Popoy, who settles it down. Cuts back into the zone. Popoy poked away at the last second. Good defensive stick by Owen Protz. Bulldogs on the counterattack. This is Testa flipping it in off the glass. Back in behind, step on Shurigan. Testa runs through Drew Roscoe. This is Jacob Kluche. A head fake to open a lane. Kluche snaps it up, and it's Roscoe who angles that puck back in from the offensive blue line and goes for a change. A steal from Geldon. Back up high in the zone. This is Hanrahan over a one-timer by Bodie Stewart. Goes off his skate. Levi Harper, 27 in the period. Ben Danford takes away from Jensen Geldon. This is Malhotra. Flipping it up. Glove down by Hanrahan. He keeps it alive. Hanrahan dances around the impending check from Malhotra. Pocket picked by Yudacek, but the puck kept alive by Barnes. And it cannot be settled down by Bodie Stewart. The Spirit touch up, though, from center. Stewart in, and a shot stopped by Igorov. Turning puck collected by Danford. Stewart hit by Yudacek. Cross-ice pass. One more try at the horn. The drop pass, and a shot gets blocked and rolls wide on the left skate of Stepan Shurigan. And Ryan Hanrahan gets a pretty good cross-check here from Banat. Levi Harper grabs his stick and says, hey, no more. And we will say no more here in this second period. 8 shots to 7 for the home team. 1 goal aside, Jensen Geldart and Merrick Van Acker. But Adam Banach's first period tally has helped Brantford to a 2-1 lead going into the third period. Exciting action and lots to discuss. We'll send you to a break. We'll bring Jonathan Dent back for the start of our second intermission report. Back after this on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Enjoy the spirit of Frankenmuth and score big with your kids at the indoor water parks. The puck stops here in Funtown, where fan favorites include chicken and Christmas, but there's really so much more. Arcades, breweries, carriage rides, shopping, and pretzel rolling. Frankenmuth, where we leave the icing to the dessert. 800 Funtown. No matter how cold it is outside or in the hockey rink, there's loads of indoor fun waiting just down the road in Frankenmuth.
When you're ready for checking that earns interest and gives you perks, Merc Perks Plus from Mercantile Bank is here. With a competitive interest rate and perks like travel services, cashback rewards, and identity protection, Merc Perks Plus has everything you need for your busy lifestyle. Merc Perks Plus also offers discounts on consumer loans and access to almost 40,000 fee-free MoneyPass ATMs. So when you're ready for perks, Merc is here. Learn more at mercbank.com/mercperksplus. Member FDIC.
Garber Ford is proud to serve Bay City with the same customer service the Great Lakes Bay region has come to expect since 1907. Our Ford team of experts you know and trust are dedicated to making your experience even better. And your vehicle is serviced by factory-trained technicians with the highest standards. We have everything you need, even tires. Get it all at Garber Ford. Come see us in Bay City at the intersection of Euclid, Wilder, and Better. Online at GarberFordBayCity.com.
As a business, a roof over your head is just as important as the products you create. At Versatile Flat Roofing, our membrane roofs have provided safety and security to businesses in the Great Lakes Bay region for over 10 years. Our quality of production in low-sloped flat roofing systems made Versatile Flat Roofing the 2024 Michigan Elite Contractor of the Year. With more than 1,500 roofs installed and 75% of clients coming from repeats and referrals, customer satisfaction is at the heart of the job. For more information on keeping the roof over your head safe and secure, visit VersatileFlatRoofing.com today. That's VersatileFlatRoofing.com.
It's time for your intermission report. In the Stormmaster Exterior Studios, here is Jonathan Dent.
The Spirit and the Bulldogs go blow for blow in the second period. One power play each, one goal each, and it's a 2-1 game after 40 minutes. Let's take a look back at that middle frame, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. The Bulldogs held a 1-0 lead coming into this period, and Saginaw got the first power play of the evening just a minute 47 seconds into it. Ben Danford taking a cross-checking penalty. Saginaw gets the puck moving around the zone. They start to dial in shots toward the net. The best chance comes toward the end of it, actually forcing a save on a shot by Klepov from the bottom of the right circle, but Brantford able to kill that one off. Saginaw kept up the pressure, though, and soon after, Bodie Stewart and Ryan Hanrahan forced a turnover just outside the Bulldogs' blue line. Hanrahan gets in, passes off to Jensen Geldart in the center, and he ties it up.
And goal, sixth-rounder to Winnipeg. Hit into the linesman by Stewart. Hanrahan alone in front. Now the pass to Geldart. He scores! The Spirit forced the turnover. Geldart snaps one past the glove of Igorov. 15-13 to go in the second period, and Saginaw has tied the game at 1.
Geldart's fourth of the season coming at 4 minutes 47 seconds. Your Herman Hisson Company time of the goal, that one. Not too long after, though, Jake O'Brien leads a zone entry. He slows up right in the center before passing to Merrick Van Acker, who's breezing in on the left, and his perfectly placed shot makes it 2-1.
O'Brien, end-to-end, the track meet down the left side. Van Acker scores! He found a puck-sized window over the shoulder of Shurigan, and that's where he put it.
After that is a long stretch without a whistle. The Spirit responded with a flurry in the Bulldog zone. They're held off. Soon after, Igor Barabanov sneaks a 2-on-1 off a line change. He cuts to the center, but Igorov makes the stop on Igor to hold on to that 2-1 lead.
Now, Barabanov catches the Bulldogs changing. Barabanov's got to go over the loose stick, takes a shot off the tip of the glove. Oh, Igorov just got a piece of it.
Still no whistle. Shurigan makes a nice save of his own on the other side, denying Rossetto just a few feet off his stick side, off a feed from Juracek, who fought his way down the slot.
Roscoe, I believe, is taking a stick up high. Puck is kept alive by Juracek again, dancing on through into the slot. Hangs onto the puck. This is over. Great save, Shurigan, as he shuts down Rossetto from the circle.
Brody Papoy sits for cross-checking at 15:04, Brantford's first power play of the evening. The Spirit really locking down their blue line through that 2 minutes. They get some nice clears out when it matters, and they kill off that 2 minutes. The Bulldogs maintained pressure in the offensive end through the remainder of the period, but their chances are limited by the Spirit defenders. A special shout-out to Carson Harmer, who blocks several shots in the closing minutes to keep it a 2-1 game. Shots on goal in the second favored Brantford once again 8-7. That's a 16-11 shot count through 40 minutes of play. Neither team able to cash in on their only power plays of the evening so far either. Jensen Geldart's fourth of the season makes it 1-1, assisted by Ryan Hanrahan. Then Merrick Van Acker, leading the OHL in goals scored with 43, retakes the lead, assisted by Jake O'Brien. A quick break. When we come back, Dylan and I talk about that second period a little bit more for you here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Disability Network Mid-Michigan promotes and encourages independence for all people with disabilities. Our vision is to create accessible and inclusive communities where everyone has opportunities to live the life they choose. Whether you're looking for a job, skills to become self-sufficient, trying to find the right assistive technology, or know someone who wants to move out of a nursing facility, we are here for you. Contact Disability Network Mid-Michigan today, the disability experts in your community.
Mid-Michigan Canine Academy's Redemption Crew loves Saginaw and the surrounding communities who have blessed us so much, and we are concerned about the epidemic of rehome dogs and dogs left at shelters. If your dog is a handful, or if you're thinking about rehoming your dog, let us help you with its behavioral challenges. Our 7-day doggy boot camp can help. Not all dogs are as fortunate as Henry the Hockey Dog, but they all deserve a second chance. Give us a call at Mid-Michigan Canine Academy and let us help you transform your dog's behavior and your life.
Your active life depends on healthy muscles, bones, and joints. When pain arises, My Michigan Health is your go-to place. Our comprehensive musculoskeletal team offers the latest in surgical and non-surgical treatments and includes experts in specialized orthopedics and sports medicine. Whether your pain originates from your knee, hip, hand, elbow, shoulder, ankle, or foot, our experts can help. With more than 50 providers across 21 locations in central and northern Michigan, we're dedicated to keeping you active. Learn more at mymichigan.org/MSK.
Looking for an easier way to travel? Fly from MBS International Airport, conveniently located in the heart of the Great Lakes Bay region. No long lines, simple to get around, and for the best deals, always book directly at mbsairport.org, with Delta and United providing access to wherever you want to fly. MBS is putting the world right outside your door. MBS International Airport. Save time and money and fly from nearby. Visit mbsairport.org.
Soar with us. Saginaw Spirit Hockey is on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Welcome back. 2-1. The Brantford Bulldogs lead the Saginaw Spirit after 2 periods of play as we bring in from the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth, Dylan Clark. Dylan, it's a 2-1 score against the top team in the league for the Saginaw Spirit, who are still just holding on to 8th place in the Western Conference, and it is due to the caliber of play we've seen from this Spirit team. This is the Spirit team we've been waiting to see all season long. Defensively, the offensive chances, there have been contributions up and down the lineup. It's just been a fantastic 40 minutes of hockey.
There's a lot to be really happy about on the Saginaw side of things. And again, it hasn't been a perfect game by any means. I mean, still they're down 2-1 going into the third period. But, you know, this team, a lot of this season, I mean, again, we read a stat the other night, almost 47% of the goals that have been scored by the Spirit this year have come off the stick of 3 players. Dima Jokin, Igor Barabanov, Nikita Klepov. That's impressive. That's fantastic for those 3 players. But when that's the case for a hockey team, well, if you can shut down that one line, you're in pretty good shape on the other side of things, because a lot of the times we've seen those guys have a couple of goals, a handful of points, and Saginaw just comes 1 or 2 short. And you'd love to get some depth scoring. You'd love to get something from the second line. You'd love to get something from the third line or a defenseman, but it just doesn't come. Well, the scoring for Saginaw in this game, Hanrahan sets up Jensen Geldart, and again, little tip of the cap to Bodie Stewart in that game. Saginaw, or on that goal rather, Saginaw has been anything but a one-line hockey team in this game. It has been really fun to watch the youngsters growing up in front of our eyes, taking control, not being afraid of a physically imposing and offensively imposing Brantford team, saying, no, I belong in this league, and I can make a difference in this hockey game. That's exactly what we've seen from all players, regardless of age.
I've been loving the defensive side of things from Saginaw in this game. It feels like something is kind of clicking. James Goh is back in the lineup, and he is making a big impact on that. But even just in general, I mean, Brantford held the offensive zone for how long? Like a couple minutes almost straight towards the end. But like we said in the first intermission, the pucks that needed to get cleared got cleared, and they were held largely to the outside, just passing, looking for those opportunities. Shurigan is there to make the stops when they do get through. But like Carson Harbor takes a few pucks, and he's not the only one blocking shots either.
No, he's not, but he's the one that's going to come to mind first. There has not been a lot of time for Brantford to make decisions, maybe not as much as they're used to, because a lot of teams, they get real condensed in the D zone. It's happened to Saginaw a couple of times, not nearly as often as you may have expected, but it's happened a couple of times. Some teams, they just get overwhelmed by all of the passing that's going on, all the talent that's out there. Which first-round NHLer do I cover here in the defensive zone? The Spirit have kept on their guys. They've stayed with them step by step, stride by stride, and they've really limited. Again, they've limited the Bulldogs, a team that's averaged a ton of shots and more goals than anybody else in the OHL this year. They've limited them to 16 shots, 8 shots in each of the first 2 periods in this game. That's a great spot to be in going into the third period. Now, you know that the Bulldogs are sitting in there looking at each other like, okay, are we really going to let an 8th-place hockey team with one overage player and 2 19-year-olds and the rest of them just kids in this league come into our building and play us this closely? That's probably the conversation right now. So I would expect a pretty big surge here from Brantford in this third period, but a lot of positives here for Saginaw going into the future. And again, we said they can't just be a one-line team. The opportunity that they have right now, we've talked about the play of the youngsters, and this is everybody. The opportunity they have right now, if they can even things up here in the third period, stay to the level of detail and speed and ferocity that they've showcased here in the first 40 minutes of play. If they can keep that going for another 20 minutes, steal another goal, force overtime, and maybe steal a point here, whatever happens in overtime happens if they can get it that far. If they can steal a point, if they can steal a win here in this building, it would be massive. A confidence boost for a group of, again, really young players who have been playing their best hockey this season over the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely. And it's encouraging to see that. Obviously, we're looking at the next 20 minutes of this game, but it is encouraging to see this level of compete out of a team that is looking to lock up a playoff spot, looking towards the postseason, and we've been talking about it a little bit over the last couple of weeks, looking towards next season as well. Going into the third period here, we talk a little bit about pressure on the forecheck. That has led to Saginaw's best chances through the first 40 minutes of play here. I got a feeling that's where things are really going to happen in this last period as well.
Yeah, the Spirit have been pretty unrelenting on the forecheck, and it's not something we've been able to say all season long. You think of what Jacob Klutze has been able to do off the puck in the offensive zone. Brody Papoy's thrown a ton of great hits, and Saginaw's forcing turnovers. It looks like the neurons are kind of firing and connecting. Like, well, hang on a second. I am fast enough to make this play. I am fast enough and strong enough to go hit that guy and at least make him a little bit off balance and maybe steal a puck. And whatever happens from there happens. There's some belief that's being created here. The neurons are firing together. It's been really fun to watch, but it absolutely has to stay at the level it's been at or improve. If it takes a step back in this third period, Saginaw's got no chance in the third.
Absolutely. Third period action just moments away. Dylan, as always, thank you for your time. A quick break, then a look at our out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by Buffalo Wild Wings here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Too many people end up in the retirement penalty box, paying more in taxes, missing out on healthcare options, or skating without a plan. At McIntosh and Associates, we help keep your game sharp with clear, personalized retirement strategies. Let's build a plan that works in every period of life. Call 989-692-2200 or visit wealthmichigan.com. McIntosh and Associates. Retirement made clear.
Henry the Hockey Dog loves food and he loves people, which is why Rescue Ministries is partnering with Henry to provide 5,000 meals to our homeless neighbors. It costs $3 to provide a warm meal at the mission, and Henry is asking for your help. Right, Henry? Text Henry 2025 to 50155 to make a donation. Century 21 Signature Realty also cares and is willing to match your donation right now. Help Henry provide a meal and consider donating today.
Your region, your team. You're listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW.
Out-of-town scoreboard presented by Buffalo Wild Wings as the Saginaw Spirit trail the Brantford Bulldogs 2-1. Well, last intermission, we were talking about the number 0. I think we're going to be talking about the number 1 a little bit more, as at least most of the teams that were scoreless have found their way onto the board. The exception to that rule, the Sioux Greyhounds still down 1-0 against the Kitchener Rangers. They've got just under 7 minutes left to play in the second period. It's a 7-1 lead for the Erie Otters. The Otters have found one tally, but London running away with that one. The Niagara Ice Dogs down 3-1 after 2 periods of play against the visiting Peterborough Petes. It was a scoreless tie after 1 between the Brampton Steelheads and the Kingston Frontenacs. After 2, the Fronts lead 2-1. The Flint Firebirds holding on to a lead 3-1 over the Sarnia Sting. The Sudbury Wolves up 4-2. And the one game that we were paying some special attention to, the Guelph Storm, are not looking to give up an inch in playoff positioning. They're up 6-1 over the Owen Sound Attack after 40 minutes of play. In Detroit, the Red Wings are in a 1-1 tie with the visiting Florida Panthers in NHL action as well. 3 minutes left to play in the second period there. There's 20 minutes left to play in regulation between the Spirit and the Bulldogs. Third period coming up next on your home for Saginaw Spirit hockey.
Yeah, I know. It's officially still winter out there, but that doesn't mean you can't have fun in the sun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea knows how to turn up your day drinking fun all year long. I mean, there's even a sun on those bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea is made with real brewed tea and a 5% kick of alcohol, which goes down smooth. So whether you're knee-deep in snow or making footprints in the sand, be sure to look for Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea in the bright yellow cans. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
We're Durolast. We make the world's best roof. As one of the country's largest roofing manufacturers, we have locations across North America. But for more than 40 years, Saginaw has been our home. Like Saginaw, Durolast has a can-do, never-quit attitude. And just like Saginaw, our people make us strong. Innovative, resilient. That's the spirit of Saginaw. That's Durolast, the world's best roof.
Your home for Saginaw Spirit hockey is WSGW.
Third period action here between the Saginaw Spirit and the Brantford Bulldogs. 2-1. Brantford has the lead on goals from Merrick Van Acker and Adam Benock. Jensen Geldart, who now has 3 points in his last 5 hockey games, has a lone Spirit goal on an assist from Ryan Hanrahan, who has points in back-to-back contests. Saginaw in 1-goal games this year. They trail 2-1 right now. 8-3, 3-4. Brantford in 1-goal games this year. 10-3, 7-2. Brantford just 1-7 in overtimes this year. So for a Spirit team, again, that is not going to be concerned with those numbers at all. But having that conversation, just having that number at the front of the mind, if Saginaw can get one more, stick to the good habits they've had in the game so far. Just get the game to overtime and see what happens from there. There is extra attention being paid to a spot on the blue line by the linesman Dave Foll, who's got the old puck trick going. You get some snow together, maybe a little squirt of water. Use the puck to kind of smooth things out like you're sanding a plank of wood, just to keep the ice nice and smooth after the resurfacing. Palmer, Kluche, Brody Papoy starts out for the Spirit. O'Brien, Van Acker, and Benock. And the third period is underway. This is Blake Barnes. Saginaw moving left to right. Here in a 2-1 game, they trail. They put it back in behind the net of David Egeroff. Bulldogs move it towards the middle. Jake O'Brien back to Van Acker. 43 goals now on the season. Poked by Blake Barnes. Carson Harmer on this punt. Josh Glavin wheels it around the wall. Brody Papoy, a pass to the middle that missed Kluche, but it's picked up by Barnes into the offensive zone. Leads the charge in. Cross-ice pass is picked off, but given back away. Harmer, the shot in the glove save made by David Egerov will bring play to a halt. Just 44 seconds into the third period. 34 seconds, rather. It stays a 2-1 game. And that a little bit of an illustration of what we were talking about during the intermission. Bulldogs get the puck away in the defensive zone. Saginaw stays on him, forces a turnover, turns into a scoring chance. Barabanov's line is out here for the Spirit. Nikita Klepov and Dima Zhilkin flank him. Zhilkin to take this face-off. Now Barabanov into the right circle, into the corner, hit by Sandu. Gabriel Frasca centering the second line tonight for the Brantford Bulldogs. Comes away with it. Moves the puck up to Luca Testa. Down the wing he goes into the offensive zone. Trying to drive wide on Levi Harper. Testa hits the late man. It was broken up by Nikita Klepov. Sandu, left circle, back through the seam. Another defensive stick by Klepov that time. He picks the puck up himself on the far wall. Skates it out to center. Klepov into the offensive end through all kinds of stick whacks. It's taken away from him. Bulldogs will clear, and it's handled by James Go. To Dima Zhilkin and Levi Harper. Barabanov into the offensive end. Cross ice. Zhilkin lets it go for Klepov off the wall. Behind the back pass. He gets it back from James Go. Klepov drops it off. Barabanov waits and shoots. That one goes off the helmet of the goaltender, Igorov. He's got a strap undone as a result, and he gets a whistle. 18:32 here in the third period. That was a heavy wrist shot from Igor Barabanov. 26 goals on the season, and Chris Lazary's advice to him pregame was stay towards the interior of the ice. Don't drift out outside the face-off dots. Attack the net. That's what Barabanov does there. Heavy shot just lodges the mask of the goaltender. Just Barabanov's second shot of the game. And he's the setup man on this hockey team. 55 assists for the team lead. Jensen Gelnart waits to take this face off as David Igorov will strap down not just the helmet, but the catching glove as well. And he's ready to go for this draw that comes on his glove hand side. One back to the right corner by the Bulldogs. D-to-D pass in behind the net, then comes up the right wing. Ryan Hanrahan lost an edge. Bulldogs bring it in with speed. Cooper Dennis lost the puck, gets it back. Gets around Roscoe, throws it in front, read well by Graydon Jones. Taken away by Stewart into the offensive end. This is Ryan Hanrahan. Laid back off the wall. Drew Roscoe walks in and shoots. That one blockered out by Igorov. Jones down low to Hanrahan. Rotates up high. Slides it behind the net for Jensen Geldart. Now picked up by Bodie Stewart. Up to the right point. Roscoe stops up, lays it back in deep. Off the corner boards again. Geldart tries to get it in front. Worked out off the boards by Hanrahan. He's knocked off this puck. Bulldogs will take it. And they move things up the near side back out to neutral ice. Bodie Stewart comes in with a hit on Malhotra. That'll be brought back in. And Stewart to recover in the Spirit zone. 17:40 to go here in the third period. 2-1. Brantford leading. Stewart intercepted. Dennis picked off. Now here comes Malhotra. 2-on-1 down the wing. Takes a shot. He scores. Caleb Malhotra slides one through Shurigan. They take advantage of the turnover. It's 3-1. There have not been many mistakes by Saginaw in this game. It has not been a mistake-free game, though. And Caleb Malhotra takes advantage of that mistake for his 27th goal here in his rookie campaign in the Ontario Hockey League. Pass at the line gets picked off. Malhotra just squeezes one through the elbow and the body of Shurigan. And the Bulldogs have some breathing room. For the first time in this game, up 3-1. Put it back in behind the net of Shurigan. Lost it. Josh Glavin sends it up the wall. Yitterchek gets around Brody Popoy. He goes back in behind the net. Centers, loose in the crease. Saginaw gets out of danger. This is Popoy. Lead the attack the other way. Kluche settles it down. Over the offensive line. Quickly taken away by Owen Protz. Kluche stays on it. Carson Harmer helps to force a turnover. In front, here's a chance for Kluche. Stuffed there by the left pad of Igorov, and they get it away. This one back up to the circle. Off the glass, Bulldogs clear. Adam Banach is turned around by Harmer. Following on is Yitterchek into the circle. Shot kicked out by the right skate of Glavin. Oh, he's in some trouble. He gets back up and hobbles back into the play. Protz, point shot, sent wide. Glavin hobbles after it. Makes the play on the backhand. Jacob Kluche just gets it off the wall. Van Acker alone in the slot. Yitterchek sends it wide. Heavy rebound off the boards. Glavin sends it up the wall. Kluche got to get out, and he does. Sent it all the way back down. No icing as the Bulldogs pick it up off the wall. Kluche spins around O'Brien. That'll be a penalty. 16-19 here in the third. And Kluche gets after Banach. And again, there haven't been many mistakes in this game. That's going to be one for Jacob Kluche. As he gets the hand around the chest of O'Brien and tosses him down. Second Stormmaster Exteriors penalty kill here in the game for the Spirit. It will be for holding. And again, the Brantford power play in the month of February. 16 for 40 last month, just about 40%. They're 0 for 1 in this game, but again, the OHL's leader by nearly a 10% margin. Dennis off the draw, blocked by Jilkin. Goes way up into the ceiling before coming back down. Jilkin, Klepov, Braden Jones, and Drew Roscoe are the penalty killers here for Chris Lazary. Of course, they'll need Stepan Shurigan to be their best. D-zone draw. Saginaw wins it. Roscoe around for Klepov. Stretch pass back out to the neutral zone. This is Jilkin in shorthanded. Cuts back on Cooper Dennis. Addison Engel comes over to him, and he sends it back in behind the Brantford goaltender. 20 seconds gone on the Kluche penalty for holding. Vladimir Dravetsky drops it back for Addison Engel in the neutral zone. It'll be stolen here by Jilkin. Dravetsky comes back, takes it away from the Spirit captain. He's got to be careful not to take a hooking penalty. He'll take as many stick lifts as he can, though. Knock the puck away. This is Paquette back at the Brantford blue line. Paquette down to his own goal line. Now he gathers some speed up towards neutral ice. Into the Saginaw end. Paquette carves in. Hit by Hanrahan. He snaps the puck around the boards. Down to the near point. Dennis fumbled. Hit by Klepov. Hanrahan comes over, gets it out off the wall. Klepov might have a step. He got Edison Engel back towards him. Klepov fights him off down to the goal line in behind the net. Klepov keeps right on going. 56 seconds left on the Kluche penalty. Klepov dancing high in the zone. He's kept it alive through all kinds of bodies. Turns it off the far wall. This is Josh Glavin. Short-handed, the defenseman, in behind the net of Igorov. Glavin's in no man's land right now. He's just going to try to kill as much of the clock as he can and get back on D now as the Bulldogs have stripped him of control. Glavin back to the safety of the neutral zone. Hanrahan, the forechecker against Dravetsky. And now at the near side, this is Banach, 28 on the power play for Brantford. Van Acker down the left side. Cross ice, Malhotra shrugs off Geldart, centering feed, broken up. Turning shot saved by Shurigan on Van Acker, and the Spirit clear. Puck is picked up by Malhotra. 14 on the Brantford power play. Malhotra is in. Cut off by Josh Glavin at the Spirit blue line. Jensen Geldart pressures the puck back onto Yurnicek's stick. He's up the near side for Banach. Down the left wing, somebody's without a stick. This is O'Brien now. It's Glavin without the stick. Kluche's out of the box, the Spirit kill. O'Brien walks off the wall, sends it backdoor shot, blocked by the skate of the stickless Glavin. Now at the right point, Yurnicek swings and misses. This is Geldart who sends it down the ice, and it will go down for an icing. 14:03 here in the third period. Remember that kick save by Saginaw's Josh Glavin. That one went off, I believe, the blade holder and not the actual boot of Glavin's skate. And I believe it was the other foot than the one that blocked the initial shot earlier. 14:03 here in the third. It stays a 3-1 Brantford lead, but Saginaw's killed off both of the power plays from the OHL's top unit. Carson Harmon to take a D-zone face-off. Down on the ice, he rips it back. Had to battle for that puck against Nick Rossetto. Puck firing up the wall. Jensen Geldart just wrestles it out to center. Bolton on this down the wing for the Bulldogs. Gets into Josh Glavin. Kluche seals off the wall. Bolton poked away by Harmer. Bouncing puck in the circle again. Here's Bolton. Shadowed by Josh Glavin. They go into the wall. Bolton more for Glavin, who takes a whack at him. Freeman back up to the right point. Yidacek here for Protz. Big battle in front of the net right now. Yidacek up high. Between his own legs, tries to get around Popoy. Follows him back below the goal line. Popoy shrugs him off. Xander Valeris uses the boards to clear. All the way down the ice. It does not have the legs for icing. Saginaw gets a line change. Good defensive shift again by Josh Glavin and company. Xander Valeris, give him some credit for that clear as well. Just about 7 minutes gone here in the third period. 3-1 Bulldogs. After that third period marker from Caleb Malhotra, they are patiently setting things up in behind their own net. Up the near side. Protz to center. Long shoot in on Stepan Shurigan that he has to pin to his chest. That brings up a face-off and a break. 12:54 here in the third. 3-1 Brantford. Tight, exciting, work to be done. Back to the TD Civic Center in a moment here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
Did you know the University of Michigan Flint is the fastest growing public university in the state? How do we do it? Access to top-ranked degree programs and one of the largest alumni networks. Access to small class sizes with renowned U of M professors. And access to the Go Blue free tuition guarantee. Because sometimes in life where you're going depends on where you go. Learn more about our growth at uofmflint.edu.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW, Carlton, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland.
12:54 here in the third period of a 3-1 Brantford lead. It's a defensive zone face-off here for Saginaw on the stick-hand side to Stepan Shurigan. Gabriel Frasca to go against Igor Barabanov. Frasca wins it. Sandu slides it over. A point shot by Danford goes wide off the wall. This is Klepov. Can't get it out. Paquette drilled by Dima Zilkin, but he sends the puck in behind Shurigan. Luca Testa back up at the right point now. Can't be kept alive with possession. Saginaw gets it up to Klepov into the offensive zone. Klepov knocked off the puck by Testa. Barabanov following on. Zilkin too. Down into the corner. Barabanov lets it go for Klepov. Takes a rough hit. They keep going right after him. And now Testa for Frasca. And up to center ice. Picked up and moved in by Paquette. Frasca's offside. Zilkin gave him a healthy whack. He's looking for a call. Maybe a high stick. No penalty called in the play. 12:17 to go in the third. And Paquette's got some words for Dima Zilkin and Jacob Klutze as he makes his way back to the Brantford bench. Klutze giving it right back to him. Spirit have gotten away with a couple of hacks and whacks here in this game. They'll probably be the first to admit. So that's the Bulldogs, though. 12:17 here in the third. 2 power plays for Brantford, 1 for the Spirit here. This puck gotten back out the center. And it is blown down after being played with a high stick. Game 62 out of 68 here for the Spirit. 6 remain after this one. Travel day tomorrow. They are in Erie to play the Otters and maybe take a season series sweep. They've won 3 out of 3 so far. 4 o'clock puck drop from the Erie Insurance Arena on Sunday, and that's a much easier start to that game if they can make some magic happen here. Hanrahan steals in the offensive zone off the draw, sweeps a shot to the net. That was stopped by Igorov. Back and behind the net. Saginaw's first-round pick, Hanrahan, lets it go. Jones the shot, pinballs to the net, saved by Igorov again. Jones on the board. Tried to slide that one back up to Ryan Hanrahan. Bulldogs attack with speed. Good defensive stick by Roscoe. Bulldogs are onside. Save made by Shurigan. And the puck is stuck underneath his pad on a great try from Cooper Dennis. 11:44 here in the third. That looked like it was potentially offside. The officials let it go. It's much easier to let it play itself out and then call it back for offside if that is the case. And to blow the play dead and be wrong. That is a great save by Stepan Shurigan. As Cooper Dennis gets right in on him. Point blank range, and he puts it in between the left elbow and the left pad of Stepan Shurigan for the save and the cover. 11:44 here in the third period. Bulldogs with a face-off. Shot blocked by Klutze. Rebound taken to the corner. Benak cuts into the circle. Hit by Klutze. Stick check by Barnes. O'Brien moves it up high to Protz. Sent over. Yuracek. Back to Protz. Center point shot. He scores! Oh, and Protz gets it through traffic. Bulldogs lead it 4-1. Three unanswered for Brantford. And they are the first team to score twice in a period here tonight. Owen Protz, 5th goal of the season, kept things moving. And a nice feed from his defensive partner, Adam Yuracek, who sold the shot, slid it back across the Protz. No stick handle. Catch and fire. Low on Shurigan for the advantage at 4-1. Back into neutral ice. Sandu. Up the near side for Frasca. Cross ice. Paquette fumbled at the line. Taken away by Saginaw's Barabanov. 11:05 to go here in regulation. Klepov into the zone. Delays. Cuts to the middle. Here's Klepov. Can't get a shot away. Bulldogs taken away. This is Frasca. Up the right side. Can't be hit by Harper. This goes back into the corner. James Go pulled that by Frasca. A little tug of the jersey. Play comes up the near side now. Klepov. Backhands it away. Not out of the Spirit zone. Point shot. Tip just wide. Jilkin. Another stick lift. Pulls this puck up here for the Spirit. Gets it up to Klepov. From center red. Sweeps it in. Long shooting off the wall. Egerov's got to quickly swipe that away. Jilkin has his helmet ripped off by Frasca. As he gets back to the bench, that's got to be a penalty. Play continues. Polaris, that one dropped back in the line. Bulldogs steal. They fire it back in. Roscoe for Hanrahan. Gets drilled on the step-up hit from Nick Rossetto. Bulldogs have it in their own end. Bolton is out here for Brantford. Polaris throws it back in for the Spirit. That'll be an icing with 10:02 to go here in the third. Gabriel Frasca and Dima Jilkin giving shots to one another on their way back to the bench. Frasca, quick little arm around the neck of Jilkin, pull upward, pop the helmet off, which the letter of the law is that's a delay of game penalty. If you intentionally remove the helmet of another player, because they have to go back to the bench. They cannot play the puck. They cannot stay alive in the play. They got to go back to the bench or put the helmet back on. They were giving it to one another. The officials say you're both on the way back for a change. They'll let it go. Dravetsky, a point shot off the draw. Nearly came up to us here in the broadcast booth, but stays in the spectators area. 9:58 here in the third. And what has become a 4-1 Brantford lead. They've given the goal to Adam Banach instead of Owen Protz. It was deflected on its way through, so that'll be Banach's second of the game as Bolton trying to get into the ear of Josh Glavin, and this is exactly what the Bulldogs went out and picked up Ryder Bolton for. The line's been doing Glavin a favor right now, but he's not going to agree with it. Glavin wants all of Ryder Bolton right now. The Spirit need Glavin out here defensively. Josh Glavin is being calmed down and talked to by Dave Cole, the linesman. Everybody's back at even keel right now. 9:58 to go in the third. Offensive zone faceoff for the Bulldogs. Rossetto, Freeman, and Bolton against Geldart, Stewart, and Hanrahan. Puck comes back, handled by Josh Glavin. Bolton comes over to take a piece out of him. Glavin got the puck out of the zone. Bolton barking at him. He's shaking the gloves. They're going to go. Bolton, Glavin at center. Glavin lands a right. Bolton comes back with 2 or 3 of his own. Glavin's going to get the takedown. And the lid is going to blow off of this place pretty soon. And you had to know that was going to come sooner or later. Good on him. And Ryan Hanrahan's taking a penalty too. .46 to go in the third. And an okay situation's gone a little sideways here for Saginaw. Not sure if Hanrahan got tied up in some extra business after the fight, before the fight, during the fight, or if he mouthed off at the wrong time. 9:46 to go in the third. Glavin and Hanrahan are in the Saginaw penalty box. Dina Zilkin and Jake O'Brien, the two captains, are getting the explanation right now from the referee, Drew Jackson, as to why Ryan Hanrahan is in the penalty box. Five each for fighting. Glavin and Bolton, of course. What happened to Ryan Hanrahan? No explanation up on the video board. They've delivered the message. I believe that Chris Lazary doesn't have too much in the way of protest. Jay McKee is getting, the head coach of the Brantford Bulldogs is getting the explanation right now. He doesn't seem to be too pleased about it. Nothing's been put on the video board at center penalty-wise. So they may have just stuck Ryan Hanrahan with a 10-minute misconduct, which, to consider the situation, would probably be the best-case scenario here for Saginaw. You don't want to go down to there. The face-off is going to be in the Brantford zone. 5 black and gold sweaters. 5 red, white, and blue sweaters. So maybe just a 10 to Ryan Hanrahan. So 5-on-5 here. Saginaw, well, no stranger to third period comebacks. They erased a 4-goal deficit last night in the third period against Niagara. The deficit is 3 right now. The opponent a little bit different. And one of their better defenders, and blossoming young offensive stars, are in the penalty box. Sandu off the D-zone faceoff. And misconduct to Hanrahan just announced in the building. Around the far side, Barabanov. Fraska gets into him with the stick. Battle comes off the wall. Zilkin settles it down. Bulldogs now forechecking Saginaw. Spirit just get the puck out to center. Danford swats a rolling puck back and behind his netminder. Paquette hit by Zilkin. Levi Harper put it back onto the stick of Brantford's Paquette. Now Luca Testa has it at center for the Bulldogs. Tries to curl around, and he'll snap that one in off the glass behind Shurigan. Fraska gets to it first. Left the puck behind, gets it right back. Fraska backhands it up high. Point shot blocker saves Shurigan through all kinds of traffic. Lepov's on it. Hits the delay in the neutral zone. Barabanov off the wall. That pass too far ahead of Dima Zilkin. Vladimir Dravetsky. Ben Danford, rather, has this puck. Back behind the Brantford net. Up to Caleb Malhotra. Poked away by Levi Harper just inside the Saginaw line. Klepov off the wall from Popoy. Down the right wing. Cutting back. Stumbling from his knees. Can't put the puck back in front. Taken by Brody Popoy. High in the offensive zone. Trying to send it back down low. No dice there. Govdaris will bring it into the offensive end for the Bulldogs. Brody Popoy hits Malhotra. Carson Harmer pulls that puck off the wall and moves to Graydon Jones. Send a bouncing puck back to James Go. Cooper Dennis forechecking. Back to Jones. Up to the neutral zone. That one pops back off the stick of Brody Popoy. Carson Harmer shouldered by Malhotra. Puck comes now for Go. Then Jones. Then Kluche. Past Harmer to Popoy, stumbling as he tried to put that puck into a shooting area. Harper gets drilled by Govdaris. Puck is back in behind the Brantford net. Popoy holds a man off. Kluche up to Drew Roscoe. Shorten up on the stick. Keeps it alive. Jones swings it towards the net. Blocked by a Brantford skate. Kluche waves after it. Now it comes back up to the point. Roscoe to his backhand. Makes the play back into the corner. Around for Kluche behind the Brantford net. Hit by Malhotra. Kluche doubles back. Takes an awkward check. But he moved the puck to Graydon Jones. He shrugs off Govdaris, but the Bulldogs steal. They toss it back out to neutral ice. Cooper Dennis is into the offensive end. Cuts back and snaps it off the skate of Roscoe, who thought about pursuing it. But he lets it go as he's at the end of a long shift. He's got to stay out, though. As the Bulldogs send on O'Brien. 2 assists in this game for the Brantford captain. His puck tossed back and behind the Spirit net. Banach, who's been credited with the most recent Bulldog goal, second of the game. 5 points now in his last 2 contests for Adam Banach. As this puck is not moving anywhere. Back and behind the Spirit goal. Stepan Shurigan waiting patiently in case it does. It's pulled out by Roscoe. He's been out for a while. Moves the puck up to Bodie Stewart. Sawyer Schmidt has taken Ryan Hanrahan's place on the third line. Eric Van Acker steals and gets the puck up to the offensive blue line. O'Brien. Banach, and then O'Brien again. Off the board. Stepping into a shot was Engel. His stick broke. Loose puck in front, saved by Shurigan. Rebound picked up by Banach. Goes in behind the goal. Up high. Dravetsky. Back over. Banach right circle. The return pass was read and cut off by Stewart. Sawyer Schmidt darts out of the way of Banach. Lost the puck at center, though. Schmidt battles it back. Bulldogs get it back again. Dravetsky down the near wing. Van Acker poked off his stick by Harper. Centering feed. Gotten on the back goal post by Banach. But he fumbled it with 6 to go here in the third. O'Brien, the stick lift on Barabanov. And a hit by Sawyer Schmidt. Bulldogs go D to D in their own zone. Zach Sandu in behind the Brantford net, followed by Barabanov. Off the right wing, Sandu lays it back in. Behind Shurigan. James Go there. Luca Testa follows him. The puck is moved to Barabanov. 3 Bulldogs to him. Gets the puck off to Zhilkin, who sends it back into the Brantford end. No icing as that puck ran out of steam and hit a pile of snow. Now a steal. Zhilkin for Barabanov in the corner. Back up, it's rim to the right point. James Gull steps to the middle. Drops it off to the captain, Zhilkin. High in the offensive zone. Does what he can to turn a shot towards the net. That's blocked. And the Bulldogs go off the wall, but Zhilkin there. He can't keep it alive. Paquette throws a shoulder into him. The puck back in the Spirit end. Roscoe off the wall for Zhilkin. Klepov. Hesitation move. Finds Barabanov. Given behind his own back to Klepov. Walking to the middle. Over to Zhilkin. One pass too many. And Klepov gets cleaned out there. A heavy hit by Protz. He pops back up. Barabanov on this puck. Bulldogs take it away. This is Protz in behind the net. Inside 5 to go in regulation. 4-1 Brantford. Stepan Shurigan stays in his net for now. Owen Protz rimmed it back around. Paquette cuts back inside his own blue line. Sent across now. Protz up looking for Rossetto. He's hit by James Go. Leads the charge in for the Spirit. Over the offensive blue line. He's turned around. Go just doing what he can to keep the puck on the right side of the ice. This is Carson Harmer having to retreat back into the Saginaw end. Over to Braden Jones from the red line. Drops it off. Kluche walking to the middle. Snapping his shot. Blocked on its way through. Yudacek on this here for the Bulldogs. Outlet pass off the wall. Stepping up is Kluche. He intercepts in the zone. Has to make a pass through a broken stick that was left on the ice. He did make it. And it's fired into the near corner of the Brantford zone by Braden Jones. 4 minutes left in regulation. Yudacek takes a hit by Papoy. Gets the puck up the wall. Sealed off by Jones. Papoy, big reverse hit there on Rossetto. Bulldogs get the puck out off of Carson Harmer. Settled down by Kluche at center ice. He attacks the zone. Tries to snap a shot. It gets blocked. Caleb Malhotra. Back up to center ice here for the Bulldogs. Drives wide and flips the puck in past Brody Papoy. Off the wall. Shurigan there. Guides it to the corner. Gravetsky. Edison Engel walking in. Takes a shot. Pad saves Shurigan. Brody Papoy's on the rebound. Just got to lay this puck out to neutral ice and go to the bench. 3:22 here in the third period. Govdaris down the near side. Drops it back. Cooper Dennis shovels a shot to the net. Saved by Shurigan. The rebound is handled, but stolen. Govdaris has it again. For Cooper Dennis. Govdaris in the corner. Sharp angle try blocked by Barnes. Sawyer Schmidt gets a good whack there from Malhotra. Who will steal the puck. Send it to the near side for Cooper Dennis again. Pressured by Barnes. Follows him back and behind the net. Out to the left point. Edison Engel. Swung over. Gravetsky. Inside 3 to go in regulation. Bulldogs have the Spirit hemmed in the offensive zone right now. Gravetsky throws it on through. Near side. Dennis. Great save. Shurigan sprawling over. Full split to make the right pad save. Engel up high. Gravetsky. Near side Dennis. Back through the seam. It was broken up. Back up to the point again. Gravetsky. That one's blocked off the skate of Shurigan. Or of Sawyer Schmidt, rather. Bulldogs come back in. They are offside. 2:26 to go here in the third period. Athleticism galore. Great save by Shurigan. Still a 4-1 Brantford lead. We're back to finish the third here in your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
At Garber Chevy Chesaning, better means you get it all. Better prices, better selection, and better service. Our factory-trained technicians keep your vehicle in top condition. We have everything your vehicle needs, even tires. Come see us at Garber Chevy Chesaning and see how you can get it all. At the corner of M52 and M57, online at GarberChesaning.com. Chevrolet, together, let's drive.
Everybody knows you'll do better at Garber.
Hi, this is Brody Najum, and you are listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 WSGW.
Last-ditch effort here for the Spirit in Brantford on this Friday night. 2:26 left in the third period. They trail 4-1. And though they did hold the Bulldogs to 8 shots in each of the first and second periods, they're outshot 11-3 right now. 27-14 in the game. Shots brought to you by Frankenmuth Insurance and Saginaw Bay Underwriters. Igor Barabanov off this face-off. Chris Lazary has 5 forwards on right now. There goes Shurigan. 6 of them. The net is empty. Barabanov in the offensive zone here. The Spirit need 3. They got 2 minutes to do it. And Zhilkin down the wall to the goal line. Here's Harmer. Takes it right to the net. Saved by Igorov. He doesn't know where the rebound is. Sandu pulls it around to the wall. It hops over the stick of Paquette. Barabanov. Send it back down low for Carson Harmer. Wheels it around. Intercepted by Sandu in behind the Brantford net. Got into the wall again. Big hit by Zilkin to separate Paquette from the puck. Barabanov uses the wall to keep things alive again. Down the boards he goes. In behind the net. Kluchik. Off the wall for Klepov at the right point. 6 attackers on for the Spirit. All of them forwards. His pass gets cut off though. Testa. Little head fake. Sends Klepov. And into the empty net it goes. Luka Testa will turn out the lights here inside the TD Civic Center. 13th goal of the season, and that is the double-edged sword, of course, with the net empty, but you can't blame Chris Lasry for putting out 6 forwards. Needing that many goals in that little amount of time. But Nikita Klepov bites on the head fake from Luka Testa. And that will be that from Brantford. Now, Saginaw lost 6-2. 4-goal margin to Brantford back on November the 2nd. Right now they're down by 4 goals. It's a 5-1 game here in Brantford tonight. But this feels considerably different than that game did. There is far more to be pleased with from this Spirit Hockey Club. And the compete level they've shown compared to that last game, or the last meeting between these two teams. Doris up the near side. It's handled by Josh Glavin. We'll see if Reiner Bolt makes another appearance here at the end of this game. Sawyer Schmidt, Jensen Geldart, and Liam Storch are out here for Saginaw. Around the near side it comes Govdaris in the Brantford zone. Then Roscoe on the intercept and back in behind the net for Liam Storch. Turns around, centering feed. Geldart, the shot save made by Igorov. Back to Jensen Geldart off the wall. It's kept alive. No, they will say it came back out to neutral ice. Braden Jones couldn't hold things in. 44.6 left in this one. Brantford will take the season series just as they did against the Spirit last season. And only 7 games left after tonight. If they want to lock up the Hamilton Spectator Trophy as the top regular season club in the OHL. Now, the last time they did that was 2022. And they won another very important piece of hardware in the J. Ross Robertson Cup as OHL champions that season, the second time in their history. This team is chock full of NHL drafted talent, soon to be NHL drafted talent, and just flat out good hockey players that are well coached by Jay McKee. As this puck comes back into the Spirit end with 12 seconds left, there's a lot of young talent, some NHL talent, soon to be NHL talent, coached by a very talented head coach and Chris Lasry on the Saginaw bench. Some lessons will be pulled from this one. 2 points is what the Brantford Bulldogs will pull from it. 5-1. Brantford here on home ice against the Saginaw Spirit. It's a unique year, pushing for a playoff spot while still focusing on building the 16 and 17 and 18-year-olds on your hockey club. And it's a unique 5-1 loss here for Saginaw as well. David Igorov will be credited with 15 saves on 16 shots. He'll pick up his 18th victory of the season. For Stepan Shurigan, saw 28. He was able to stop 23. A rest day, a day of travel, and then Saginaw gets to work against the Erie Otters on Sunday. We'll take a break, and we'll get back with post-game here, your 3 stars, and look at the standings and more coming up after this here on your home for Saginaw Spirit Hockey.
From the depths of the ocean to the farthest reaches of space, Corning's technologies push the boundaries of what's possible. We're the world's leading innovator in glass and ceramic science, and we're innovating right here in Michigan. Corning's solar wafer site in Hemlock is helping guarantee American energy security. We're investing in our local Michigan communities. That's why Corning is a proud sponsor of the Saginaw Spirit. Learn more about Corning today at corning.com.
When you go Great Lakes Bay in Michigan, lose yourself in nature and find yourself at peace. Soak up the stillness of winter on glistening trails, or glide along an outdoor ice rink. Take charming carriage rides through snowy streets. Embrace the magic of the season and warm up with comfort food and handcrafted beverages. There are moments of pure greatness all around if we linger long enough to soak them in. Find yours at gogreat.com.
This is Saginaw Spirit Hockey on 100.5 FM WSGW.
Tensions boil over, and the Bulldogs run away with this one in the third period. It's a final score of 5-1. Let's take a look back at that third frame, brought to you by Raymond. Empower your purpose. It was 2-1 Bulldogs heading into this third period. The Spirit pressured early this time, probing for chances in the Brantford end, but it was a stopped pass in the neutral zone by Cooper Dennis that sent Caleb Malhotra in. He scores on the Bulldogs' first shot of the period to make it 3-1.
Stewart intercepted. Dennis picked off. Now here comes Malhotra. 2-on-1 down the wing. Takes a shot. He scores. Caleb Malhotra slides one through Shurigan. They take advantage of the turnover. It's 3-1.
Jacob Cloutier takes a holding penalty, 3 minutes, 41 seconds. Saginaw's only second penalty kill of the night. They get some nice shorthanded possession. Klepov basically playing keep away in the offensive end through the first minute of that penalty. And they then see off the remaining with some nice defensive effort. Josh Glavin, a nice play to see this one off.
Playing somebody's without a stick. This is O'Brien now. It's Glavin without the stick. Cloutier's out of the box. The Spirit kill. O'Brien walks off the wall. Sends it backdoor shot. Blocked by the skate of the stickless Glavin.
A quick zone entry not long after that sees a nice passing play from Govdaris to Dennis. Shurigan gets big for the save, but off the ensuing face-off, Brantford keeps the puck moving. A pass to and from Protz and Juracek ends with a shot deflected in by Banach to make it 4-1.
O'Brien moves it up high to Protz. Sent over. Juracek back to Protz. Center point shot. He scores. Oh, and Protz gets it through traffic. Bulldogs lead it 4-1.
Ryder Bolton and Josh Glavin exchange pleasantries for a couple minutes. Then they exchange blows. Hanrahan takes a misconduct, as well as Bolton and Glavin taking those fighting penalties. Through it all, 5-on-5, it remains. The rough stuff, physical play continues for the next several minutes, and the Bulldogs maintain control. They're held off for all of that time, at least by Stepan Shurigan, as he makes an amazing pad stop, one of the last shots he sees in this game, kicking out with the right pad, stopping Cooper Dennis off a cross-ice feed from Vladimir Devesky.
Bulldogs have the Spirit hemmed in the offensive zone right now. Devesky throws it on through. Near side, Dennis, great save. Shurigan sprawling over. Full split to make the right pad save.
That's our My Michigan Health save of the game as he goes from one side of the crease to the other. Stepan Shurigan, our save of the game, brought to you by My Michigan Health. He's pulled from the net not too long after that. 2 minutes remaining. Chris Lazary puts on 6 forwards, and with a minute 30 left, Charlie Paquette springs Luca Testa. He puts it in the empty net and puts this one away at that 5-1 score. Scoring in the third, it was Caleb Malhotra assisted by Dennis, then Adam Banach from Protz and Juracek, then Luca Testa from Charlie Paquette into the empty net. Brantford led on the shot count as well, 12-5 for a game total of 28-16. That's it for this game. One last look at our out-of-town scores as we seem to be one of the earlier ones done here this evening in the OHL. The Sioux Greyhounds have still been kept off the board. They've got 13 minutes to make up a 2-0 deficit against the Kitchener Rangers, those Western Conference leading Kitchener Rangers. The Erie Otters have a very steep hill, 4 minutes to make up a 10-2 deficit against their rival London Knights. The Peterborough Petes holding on to a 3-1 lead over the hometown Niagara Ice Dogs. In Kingston, the only other game to go final, well, there's a couple now. The Frontenacs come away with a 2-1 win over the Brampton Steelheads. The Flint Firebirds, 3-1 over the Sarnia Sting, looking to close that one out with a minute left to play. The Sudbury Wolves emerged victorious 5-2 over the Oshawa Generals. And in Guelph, the Storm looking to hold on to that playoff positioning, 8-1 over the Owen Sound Attack. In NHL action, the Detroit Red Wings, 10 minutes left to play in the third period. It's 2-1 with the Panthers out front. That's all we've got for you here in the studio. We'll send you back now to the Town Place Suites by Marriott broadcast booth and Dylan Clark for our Applebee's 3 stars of the game.
Thanks, Jonathan. Lots of goals on the Brantford side of things, and you can tip the cap to a couple of Spirit players. We'll do that after the 3 stars. How about that? Jake O'Brien, the OHL's leading assist man on the season, adds 2 more of them here in this hockey game. The first of the game and the second, which ends up being the game winner in a 5-1 victory. Jake O'Brien now in his last handful of games against the Spirit. It's no shortage of assists. 6 assists in 2 games against Saginaw for Jake O'Brien. Owen Protz is your second star of the game with an assist on the back-breaking 4th goal that was tipped in by the game's first star, Adam Banach. 2 goals in the game, give him 3 goals and 2 helpers in his last 2 contests. 26 goals on the season for the Minnesota Wild prospect. Adam Banach is your Applebee's first star of the game tonight. We'll take a look at your applied innovation look ahead. Well, a little tip of the cap. Jensen Geldart gets the lone goal for the Spirit. Stepan Shurigan made some phenomenal saves. Ryan Hanrahan has been a little bit of a coming out party for him as of late now. He'd like to maybe keep the trap shut and avoid that 10-minute misconduct. But, you can go down any roster. I don't think there's any player that's avoided a situation like that at some point, especially early on in their career. But he's gaining some confidence here in his young playing days as well. Hanrahan, 40 games in the Ontario Hockey League. He picked up an assist, points in back-to-back games for him tonight. Now, your applied innovation look ahead. Saginaw closes out the road trip on Sunday, 4 o'clock puck drop in Erie against the Otters. We'll have pregame coverage here for you on WSGW at 3:45. Of course, you can watch that game on Flow Hockey as well. Back home go the Spirit. Saturday, March the 14th. It is Mental Health Awareness Night with the Barb Smith Suicide Resource and Response Network. Lots of important and wonderful things happening in the building. That night is the Spirit take on the Flint Firebirds for the final time in the regular season at 7:05. And then it is on the road, the Sarnia Sting, Sunday, March the 15th, 2:05 puck drop on a slightly less busy but slightly earlier weekend for the Saginaw Spirit. And again, we talk about the Sarnia Sting. They're right behind Saginaw in the standings. Coming into this game in 9th, they're going to stay there thanks to some help from the Flint Firebirds, who could very well, if they keep stacking up points, though they've got a way to catch up to the Kitchener Rangers. They could be Saginaw's first-round opponent, but they did Saginaw a favor tonight, as Jonathan mentioned during the out-of-town scoreboard. Took 2 points off the table away from the Sarnia Sting, so the gap remains. Sarnia in 9th at 44 points. Saginaw 9 points ahead of them in 8th and in the playoff picture with the last spot at 53 points on the season. The Spirit, a record of 23, 32, 3-4, 53 points, as I mentioned. They're going to sit in 8th place for a little while longer. They're going to inch closer to potentially clinching a playoff spot Sunday in Erie against the Otters. Thanks to Jonathan for all that he's done back in the studio tonight. Thanks to you for joining us, everybody. My name's Dylan Clark. Good night, Saginaw. We'll talk to you on Sunday in Erie.
You've been listening to Saginaw Spirit Hockey on WSGW. Spirit Hockey is brought to you in part by Garber Automotive Group, Saginaw Valley State University, Dow, Frankenmuth Insurance, Saginaw Bay Underwriters, NetSource One, Delta College, Corning, Go Great Lakes Bay, Herman Hisson Company, Frankenmuth Convention and Visitors Bureau, DML Property Management, My Michigan Health, Independent Bank, Buffalo Wild Wings, Stormmaster Exteriors, IBEW Local 557, Michigan Sugar Company, Jets Pizza, Raymond, the Great Lakes Loons, Applebee's, Stanley Steamer, your local State Farm agents, and Meyer. All season long, the Spirit play on WSGW 100.5 FM and online WSGW.com. We now return to regular programming on WSGW.